Today is Friday, March 27th. These are the stories making news.
Downtown Kansas City has as many as 7 high-rises on the plans, and St. Louis.
We still have those 3 undeveloped parcels on the north side that we do surface.
The president of the Cardinals gives an update on Ballpark Village. I'm Michael Calhoun with the latest.
I'm Debbie Monterrey.
I'm Sean Malone. The audit into the St. Louis City's building stabilization program is expanding. I'll tell you how coming up.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Today will be breezy and much colder than yesterday as clouds yield to some sun. The high just 55.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
TV.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Congress may have paved the way for an end to the 42-day-old partial government shutdown that's denied TSA workers paychecks and created chaos at airports. The Senate voted unanimously early today to fund DHS, but not ICE, and pay TSA officers. The finger-pointing's underway. Majority Leader John Thune.
Republicans funded the Department of Homeland Security piecemeal. It's not the way to fund the department, Mr. President. But we are out of time for the critical responsibilities and tens of thousands of workers currently going without pay.
The vote came after President Trump ordered TSA officers be paid immediately. Top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries.
He's always had this ability, but clearly he wanted to hold TSA agents and the American people hostage.
The House could vote on the Senate bill today. Close call in the sky over L.A. A United flight was coming in for a landing when an alarm system sounded as the plane almost collided with an Army Black Hawk helicopter. Former NTSB Chair Robert Sumwalt.
This is closer than we would like for airplanes and helicopters to be. However, it does show that the system worked as intended in light of the fact that something was not right.
President Trump delaying his deadline again for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, this time for 10 days. And the Pentagon considers sending more troops to the Middle East.
5,000 Marines and thousands of Army paratroopers have already been ordered to the region. Defense Department officials tell the Wall Street Journal the additional 10,000 troops would include infantry and armored vehicles. The possible buildup comes as more lawmakers say it's time to scale back. Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana.
It's time to come home.
Washington Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal.
We are plunging our people, our troops, into another forever war.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A federal judge has ruled in favor of AI company Anthropic in a dispute with the Defense Department. Cammie McCormick.
The judge's order temporarily blocks the Pentagon from labeling Anthropic as a supply chain risk. That after negotiations over a defense contract fell through because Anthropic was concerned its AI technology would be deployed in fully autonomous weapons or surveillance. The judge said the Pentagon could have just stopped using it, but instead appeared to punish Anthropic.
President Trump's John Hancock will appear on the dollar later this year. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Historically, U.S. paper currency bears the signature of the Treasurer of the United States and the Secretary of the Treasury. This will be the first time in history a sitting president's signature will appear on U.S. currency.
Dow futures down 136. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
At 6:03, we still have rain downtown, 40 degrees. Today is Friday, March 27th. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. A civil trial involving a death of a 3-year-old brought new photos to light yesterday.
The civil trial began and ended with a short day one, just introducing one piece of evidence, photos of the weighted blanket that was pulled over 3-year-old Conrad Ashcraft and allegedly contributed to his suffocation and death. Now, according to photos taken by the St. Francis County Sheriff's Department, the blanket's tag said adult size and weight and, quote, not for use with children. Now, despite that, Poppy's Playhouse 2 still used this weighted blanket to put children down for naps, including 3-year-old Conrad Ashcraft on the day that he was found dead. Now, how did the defense counter? Can't say. They didn't show up. The owner of Poppy's Playhouse 2, Spring Gray, is going without legal representation and has not been showing up to many of the hearings in the civil cases against her. We'll see if that changes as the trial moves forward. Outside the Jefferson County Courthouse, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol is leading an investigation into Wednesday's armed robbery at the Isle of Capri Casino in Boonville. The FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms assisting in that investigation. Highway Patrol Lieutenant Eric Brown says 2 men, one with a rifle, one with a handgun, stole an unknown amount of money from the casino. He says they then fled in a tan, older model Ford Taurus.
At this point, the description of suspect we have is very limited. Right now, our officers are still processing evidence. They did recover evidence at the scene that they're working on, and also following up on numerous leads.
The casino is back open. Anyone with information on that robbery asked to contact the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
In the first week of March, there were 49 overdose cases in St. Louis County emergency rooms. That recently spiked to 53, according to County Health Department's Dr. Kanika Cunningham.
Adults aged 35 to 44 made up the largest share of these cases. About 53% of these were men, 47% were women. Black and African American residents accounted for 53% of the cases.
Cunningham says a new drug they're seeing called metatomidine, or rhino tranquilizer, is now being mixed with other drugs, and it does not respond to Narcan or naloxone, which usually reverses opioid overdoses.
After a St. Louis City building inspector was charged with 3 counts of wire fraud for stealing millions of dollars from the city, the entire department is now under audit.
The audit is an expansion of Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick's investigation into Building Division Inspector Adebanjo Popula after allegedly funneling pandemic money towards companies he or his family created. Auditor Fitzpatrick says this new expanded audit is precautionary.
I would not say that I'm suspicious or not suspicious. We're just going to do the audit because of the fraud that we know occurred in one part of the building division.
He adds the audit is to identify conditions within the building division that allowed this fraud to take place and find solutions on how to prevent it from happening again. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Mayor Spencer says the city is fully cooperating with the audit and is prepared to implement any recommendations. She adds the city has also launched a national search for a new building division director.
Is St. Louis feeling skyscraper envy?
We've seen an article from the Kansas City Business Journal get shared a lot. It says there are plans for 7 new high-rises in downtown KC, which would add nearly 1,900 new apartments. Downtown St. Louis is smaller size-wise than downtown KC, but has way more apartment units and just as many projects underway, though mostly historic rehabs versus glitzy high-rises. One spot where a new tower could rise.
You know, we remain really committed to downtown and the future of downtown. I mean, we're not going anywhere.
The president of the Cardinals, Bill DeWitt III, gives KMOX an update. He's pushing for a 3rd phase of Ballpark Village.
Cordish has been our development partner, has been in Jefferson City talking about some ideas, and governor's supportive. And so you might see a little bit more on that later, but that remains a huge commitment of ours.
The same developer behind Ballpark Village also did the Power and Light District in KC. While St. Louis does have one Cardinal Way, KC's district now has residential towers 1 light, 2 light, and 3 light. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
From the KMOX business desk, 2 of downtown St. Louis's most prominent eyesores could be a step closer to redevelopment. The Missouri House voted 119-27 Wednesday to pass legislation creating tax credits for office to residential conversions and other economic incentives. The bill aims to revive downtowns and commercial corridors statewide. Proponents say the bill is critical to unlocking redevelopment of the vacant AT&T building and the Railway Exchange. Greater St. Louis Inc., which has pushed for the legislation for 3 years, says it now turns its attention to the state Senate.
It's now 6:08. We'll take a break here and come back to bring you the latest on the roadways and the weather. It's Total Information AM.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the 3rd leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times, some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
6:10, time for a check of the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we've still got a crash downtown on eastbound 70. In fact, they have all eastbound 70 local lanes shut down between Adelaide and Grand because of this crash temporarily, but there's no traffic getting through. Now, the express lanes are still open. Like I said, it's in the local lanes. So if you're in a hurry, jump in those express lanes and you can get by the crash, but the backup, the jam, is back around the bend through O'Fallon Park right now. Not quite back to West Florissant, but back at O'Fallon Park on eastbound 70 at this time. Northbound 55, a little slowdown right through the Holly Hills area. Still have this closure of Tesson Ferry south of Butler Hill because of an earlier crash. Northbound Tesson Ferry is almost backed up to Suisun Hill, so be advised, doesn't look like there's any traffic getting through there. And delays on northbound 141 approaching Fiedler. Not a solid jam yet. It's pretty heavy, though, from about Romaine Creek, and that's due to the fact that the signals are on red flash at that location. Otherwise, the rest of the area highways are doing pretty well. Lighter traffic on a Friday morning and no other real issues so far. Next update is 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Rain and even a thunderstorm around to start the day, then breezy and dramatically colder as clouds break for some sun. Our high will be 55. Tonight will turn out clear and cold, low 32. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high 57. For Sunday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, breezy and warmer in the afternoon, high 72. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it's 42 degrees in downtown, and it looks like the rain is still coming down, but is dissipated just a bit.
I'm Joe Pott. We've got opening day highlights coming up in sports.
It's now 6:12. While most people already equate music with the expression of emotion, one St. Louisan taking that connection even further. Rachel Ebling is executive director with the Angel Band Project. She describes the project as a form of therapy that encourages sexual abuse survivors to explore their trauma through songwriting. Ebling says the program is free to all city residents ranging from teens to adults.
You know, everyone that we see is at a different place on their healing journey. And the Angel Band Project really strives to meet people where they are, whether this happened 2 weeks ago or 20 years ago. We can still be a part of their healing process.
Project holding a concert this Saturday in Webster Groves.
Someone convicted of rape, kidnapping, or any other dangerous felony could receive a lifetime restraining order under a bill in the Missouri Senate. Republican Mike Moon of Southwest Missouri's Ash Grove presented the bill before a Senate panel Wednesday.
There was a woman who testified for this bill in the past who told us her story. She spent years going back and being traumatized because of the person who committed the crime against her.
No one testified for or against the bill Wednesday. If passed, such restraining orders would remain in force until the offender either dies or the conviction is overturned.
Raw milk proponents in Illinois hitting a wall in the State House.
A bill pushing for less restrictions on raw milk has stalled in Springfield. The bill's sponsor, State Senator Jill Tracy of Quincy, says she doesn't think her measure can pass without the support of the Illinois Department of Public Health, which has already warned against drinking raw milk. SSM Health St. Louis University Hospital's Dr. Fred Buckhold.
I don't know what you need an official to tell you not to drink raw milk. Don't drink raw milk. We develop pasteurization for a reason.
Raw milk is not heated or pasteurized to remove illness-causing organisms. Because of that, Illinois has strict laws outlining the product can only be sold at state-regulated farms. It can't be sold at grocery stores. This bill would allow raw milk to be sold at other locations, like farmers markets, but it appears to have little or no support in the General Assembly. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Every season, the Cardinals try to come up with some new food items to tempt you, and they had many on display yesterday, including Nashville hot chicken on a waffle, hot dog burnt ends served with potato salad. Vicki Bryant with the Cardinals brought Chris and Amy what Megan and I are very curious about, the new deep-fried gooey butter cake on a stick.
This is a party in your mouth right here. This is the way you want to end your day at the ballpark. It is gooey butter cake.
Okay.
And it is dipped in funnel cake batter and
Oh
deep
my gosh.
fried.
I don't know if it's necessary to deep fry it, but I would be willing to try it. It's apparently very big, so you can share.
It was really big.
Oh, you saw one in person?
We tried it in the press box.
Oh, in real life?
Somebody bought one and shared it among some of the media members.
Not to ruin it for anybody, but I mean, doesn't gooey butter cake already have like gobs of butter? So like, let's just add more oil into it.
I would say too, like that's the beauty of gooey butter is the gooiness, and you lose some of that because of the deep fried.
What did you think of it overall?
It was still pretty good.
Yeah.
It tasted a lot. I mean, it was very funnel cake-esque. So
I guess it's for fans that like the crunchy edges of the gooey butter cake, maybe. I don't know.
Still, I'm willing to try.
Right.
Yeah, I won't say no.
6:15.
Our Redbird Report is sponsored by Restoration One of Greater St. Louis. Opening day yesterday, a new era for the Redbirds, and nobody better to usher in that new era than rookie second baseman J.J. Weatherholt. Second at bat of the day for Weatherholt.
0-2 the count to Weatherholt, and he hits that ball high and deep to center field. He got a lot of that one, and it's gone! First Major League home run! First Major League hit for J.J. Weatherholt on an 0-2 pitch, straightaway center field, and it's 1-0 Cardinals on opening day.
Great call by Ricky Horton here on KMOX. How about the Cards defense on display in the fifth as Ryan Valade sends one into deep left.
The 1-0 pitch. There's a fly ball, and that's hit well to left field. Deep, back to the wall. Church, he jumps. He has it. He has it. Getting back to the wall. Taking extra bases away from Ryan Valade. 2 outs. I think he took a home run away from it. Quite possibly, but for sure extra bases.
Well, that kept it 1-0 for only a batter because Jonathan Aranda was the next batter. He does go deep. That's the only run that Matthew Liberatore gives up in 5 innings in his first opening day start. So it's on to the bullpens now, and the Rays take advantage. They score 6 times on 7 hits in the 6th to lead 6-1. But the bottom of the 6th was a different story. The Rays into their bullpen, and it's the Cards cashing in. They open the inning with 4 straight hits before Nathan Church hits.
Trying to come back against the Rays. Seymour deals a swing, and the ball is lined into left, a base hit. That's going to score 1. Up with the ball, Simpson. His throw coming to the plate, too late. A 2-run single for Nathan Church. And the Cardinals have climbed back within 2, 7-5 Tampa Bay.
Well, it would become 7 straight hits to open the inning. The Cards end up tying the game on back-to-back sac flies by Weatherholt and Herrera. It brings Alec Burleson to the plate with 1 on in a tie game.
2 outs, runner at third. Scott, the pitch. Burleson swings. He hits it a mile to right field. The Cardinals have the lead +1 on that 2-run homer by Alec Burleson. An 8-run 6th inning. Unbelievable.
Indeed, it was 8 runs on 8 hits, 9-7 Redbirds, and it stays that way. The Cardinals win it as Ryan Stanek comes on, saves the game. After loading the bases in the 9th, he strikes out former Cardinal Richie Palacios at the plate, and the Cards win opening day. They are off today. They are back at it on Saturday, 12:20 airtime here on KMOX tomorrow afternoon. Next sports update comes up at 6:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 404 exclusions apply.
Hey, St. Louis. Bob Stray here with Straight Windows. Let me guess, you've gotten some quotes on some new windows, and you had to look at it twice. I hear that a lot. That's why I started Straight Windows. I'm not here to give you a sales pitch. What I'm here to give you is a straightforward answer on what you need, what you don't need, and what it should cost. You're going to get quality windows, lifetime warranty, and no pressure. If you want a quote that you could feel good about, give me a call at 314-WINDOWS. That's 314-WINDOWS.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 6:20. It continues to drizzle in downtown St. Louis. We'll get the forecast for you in just a moment. But first, here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, good news for downtown drivers, Debbie. Since we last spoke, they cleared that crash eastbound 70 before Grand. There's just a little busy traffic coming through Grand. It really doesn't look that bad, but like I said, all lanes are open now, so that's great to see. More volume on northbound 55, the right lane south of Butler Hill to 270 are bogged down, and then you're slow again from about Bayless up through to almost Loughborough. I'm still seeing the restrictions on Tesson Ferry south of Butler Hill. Looks like maybe traffic is starting to get through the area now, so that's a good sign. It's not, it's still jammed from Suisun Hills to Wells, but then it starts opening up. Southbound still is a bit of a backup. So it looks like there may still be lane restrictions, but it's not completely closed like it was. I have a jam building on northbound 141 Romaine Creek up to Fiedler because of signal problems there. So just be advised if you're headed in that direction. Otherwise, the rest of these highways continue to roll on pretty easily for you on a Friday morning. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
For now, looking at radar, it looks like most of the heavy rain has moved off to the east. There's another system moving through Missouri right now that may hit downtown as well. So we do still have some rain out there. Otherwise, breezy and colder today. Clouds, a high around 55. Clear and cold tonight, an overnight low of 32. And then tomorrow, plenty of sunshine with a high of 57. Again, rain downtown, 40 degrees at the Arch.
Route 66 turns 100 years old this year. Of course, it came right through St. Louis, Missouri. Some of the best ways to explore the rest. Well, joining us is an expert on the Great American Road Trip. It's Megan Kaiser, travel expert, author, Everywhere for Nothing, free travel for the modern nomad. Megan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Debbie. It's so great to be here.
It seems like interest in Route 66 has been growing maybe even over the last decade, but obviously with it being the 100th anniversary, a lot of states, including the Metro East here in Illinois, have been investing money to make sure that they have plenty of visibility for Route 66 travelers. What are you saying as far as interest?
Oh, road trips are having a real moment right now. I mean, lined with those vintage diners, the neon motels, quirky roadside attractions, Route 66, it's this legendary American road trip, nearly 2,500 miles, crosses 8 beautiful states. And like you said, communities along the route are gearing up for centennial celebrations. So it's the perfect time to check out my favorite travel site and app, Booking.com. It's the official travel partner of the Route 66 Centennial and is spotlighting the Mother Road ahead of its 100th birthday, helping travelers plan their own unforgettable adventure. I mean, some of us are just wanting to go back to our travel routes, and what better way than with Route 66?
For those of us who know of Route 66 but are not experts or scholars on it, how long is it? Like if we were to start at the beginning to the end, how long is it and how many states?
So it's nearly 2,500 miles. I think the actual number is 240, 2,448, something like that. Starts in Illinois, ends in California, so you can get that sunset at the end.
Can you give us some examples of what some other states have done, or maybe some of the most popular places to stop along the way?
Yeah, well, travelers today are really seeking more value, like we just talked about, flexibility, freedom to explore at their own pace. And Booking.com, its 2026 travel predictions show that nearly 80% of travelers want more spontaneous, flexible road trips. And over 3/4 say they're drawn to road trips because they get to meet new people along the way. And the Route 66 Centennial is adding even more excitement, from car shows to foodie fests for fun stops along the way, like Albuquerque's Roads and Rails Festival in April, or September's Mother Road Festival in Springfield, Illinois. There's something for everybody, and it's so great to just get online and see what's going on, because across the country, people are just so excited about this.
It is the 100th anniversary of Route 66, the Great American Road Trip. Megan Kaiser is our guest. She's a travel expert everywhere for nothing, free travel for the modern nomad. Thanks so much for the information. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
It's now 6:25. The Illinois Commerce Commission has approved a 5-year program to make improvements to rail crossings.
The ICC approved $376 million for safety improvements at nearly 400 rail crossings. Commissioner Michael Kerrigan says the work is being done with the aim of preventing train collisions and saving lives. Project locations can be found on the ICC website. The Federal Railroad Administration reported 119 collisions at public crossings in Illinois last year, 34 fatalities. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Big labor making its voice heard outside the Illinois Capitol.
Pass the Unemployment Equity Act now. Respect plus fair wages equals dignity. Among the signs at this labor rally,
a cafeteria worker can spot a student sitting by themselves and make an extra effort to connect. These people make a difference in the lives of students, and we want them to. We need them to.
Illinois Education Association President Carl Gakey says support personnel do important work and should qualify for unemployment benefits over the summer. At the Illinois Capitol, Dave Dahl, News Radio 105.9 WBBF.
Lots of young players. They're hungry.
Cardinals President Bill DeWitt III on opening day talking about this year's team.
It's a different feel, but it's very exciting for me because it's like laying that foundation for building for the future. And that foundation we're seeing right in front of us.
Joe Pott will have more on what that team looks like this year coming up at 6:45. It's now 6:27. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
If you live in Missouri, have Medicaid, and need a caregiver, this message is important. Care at home is personal. That's why you may not want a stranger in your home to take care of you. You want someone who already knows you and your daily routines. With Freedom Care, you choose a trusted family member, a friend, or a neighbor. They will get paid after every shift to care for you, and it's 100% free to you. More than 70,000 people have already joined the Freedom Care family. Call your local Freedom Care. They'll check your Medicaid eligibility. Don't wait until a stranger shows up at your door. If you have Medicaid and need help at home, this care is available 100% free to you. Call Freedom Care now to see if you qualify. 314-907-0892. 314-907-0892. That's 314-907-0892.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills. Odoo replaces it all.
One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Does heart disease run in your family? Give yourself peace of mind with our cardiac MRI bundles at Specialty MRI. Personalized scans designed to give you clear, meaningful answers. No long waiting rooms. Scan today for peace of mind tomorrow. Call us at 314-899-2075. That's 314-899-2075.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
It is 6:30 and it continues to rain in downtown St. Louis. We've got 42 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Megan Lynch. Let's see if that rain is affecting the roads. Roger Brand is in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it certainly is, Megan. We've had crashes here and there this morning, and I'm looking at a new one. And again, it looks like the right lane's blocked. This one's in the city as well. Eastbound 70, just west of Union, it looks like the right lane is blocked. So traffic is not a solid jam, but it's slow as you come around the bend through Goodfellow. So pay attention on eastbound 70. Of course, it's thinned out east of there through Adelaide and Grand. That's where we had the earlier crash. If you're on northbound 55, the right lanes are a little busy at Butler Hill. Primary delays right now are from Bayless all the way up through Holly Hills. North 270 as you ramp on for 55, bogs down a little bit. It's a little slow at Manchester in both directions through Ladue. Just brief delays there. Northbound's only slow at 64 up to that point. We still have the delays are getting longer, of course. Northbound 141, signals are on red flash at Fiedler. Northbound 141 is jammed back almost to Tesson Ferry now. Tesson Ferry looks a lot better. It's still busy south of Butler Hills, some slow traffic, but it's not jammed south there. They've reopened it. There may be some minor restrictions, but traffic is getting through that area now. And they also reported a minor crash westbound 370 near 94, but I'm not seeing delays at that point. Next update at 6:40 from the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Our roller coaster of temperatures continues because yesterday we were at least 90. So we're starting today with rain and a thunderstorm. The rest of the day is just going to be breezy and cloudy and colder. We may see a little bit of sunshine, but a high of just 55. Sun and 57 tomorrow, then 72 on Sunday, 86 on Monday, 88 on Tuesday. It's 42 degrees and raining right now.
It's 6:31. A 51-year-old woman died yesterday morning after she was hit by a Metro bus in Clayton Wednesday night. It happened at the intersection of Forsyth Boulevard and South Central Avenue. Clayton police say the woman was walking across South Central and in a crosswalk when she was hit, the crash being investigated by county police.
St. Louis County is seeing a spike in overdoses at emergency rooms this month.
During the week beginning March 1st, 2026, our county recorded 49 suspected overdose-related emergency department visits. In the most recent spike, that number rose to 53.
Dr. Kanika Cunningham says the overdoses are from a variety of drugs, including fentanyl, other opioids, and cannabis. She says they're also seeing a big increase in a drug known as rhino tranquilizer, which does not respond to Narcan or naloxone, which usually reverses opioid overdoses. Cunningham says their number does not include people who overdosed and were treated outside of hospital emergency rooms.
Kansas City has as many as 7 new downtown high-rises on the drawing board. Is St. Louis feeling jealous?
Many of the projects in St. Louis are historic conversions or rehabs, from Mansion House to the Jefferson Arms. There is the new replacement for the Millennium on the riverfront. And the president of the Cardinals, Bill DeWitt III, tells KMOX he's committed to downtown and continues to push for a third phase of Ballpark Village.
We still have those 3 undeveloped parcels on the north side that we do surface parking. We could go vertical on those. So I think growing is important, and it also sends a message to people that are down on downtown, or they're, just stuck in the negativity spiral. There's a lot going on here.
One Cardinal Way opened in 2020. The same developer behind Ballpark Village, Cordish Companies, also did the Power and Light District in Kansas City and has 3 residential towers there. The latest, called 3 Light, opened in 2023. DeWitt says downtown residential tax credits in Jefferson City would be helpful to development in downtown St. Louis. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Coming up next, we've got your Bloomberg Money Minute, and then we'll take a look at traffic and weather. Stay with us here on the Voice of St. Louis.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's 6:35. Time for your money report, sponsored by Eamon Gatner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. Iran and Israel continue to exchange missile fire, and that's sending stocks lower this Friday. Traders continue to worry about the impact on energy supplies, with the price of U.S. crude at $96 a barrel. Sentiment remains fragile as Wall Street watches conflicting news about de-escalation and attacks. Meantime, another day of losses for memory chip stocks such as Micron Technology and SanDisk. Google rolled out technology this week that makes operating artificial intelligence more efficient. Investors have been piling into the makers of storage products on the belief that demand would skyrocket as AI continues to grow. And Netflix is raising prices. The company's standard streaming subscription with ads will be $1 more, $8.99 a month. Its plan without ads will be $19.99 a month. The changes are effective immediately for new customers. Existing customers will be notified by email a month before their new pricing starts. The company is citing continued investment. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
Tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
It is 6:38, and thanks for tuning in to Total Information AM. The U.S. Senate has passed new funding for the Department of Homeland Security, putting the wheels in motion to end the partial government shutdown and reconnect TSA workers with a paycheck. The bill funds DHS without funding to ICE and Customs and Border Protection, besides the customs portion. It now heads to the House. President Trump announced his intention to pay TSA workers by executive order ahead of the Senate action.
We're learning more about a midair near miss in Southern California Tuesday night. United Airlines Flight 589 with 168 people on board coming in to land at John Wayne Airport when an onboard alarm system alerted it to a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter crossing its path. United Airlines said in a statement their pilots were warned to watch for a military helicopter flying near the airport by air traffic controllers. In their own separate statement, the Army said it was aware of the incident and was coordinating with the FAA to gather more details.
President Trump will now put his signature on paper currency. Throughout the history of this country, our paper currency has borne the signature of the Treasurer of the United States and the Secretary of the Treasury. But this 165-year-old tradition is about to change. President Trump's signature will appear on dollar bills, along with the signature of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. It'll be the first time in history a sitting president's signature appears on U.S. currency.
6:40, let's see what problems are out there on the roads. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, they're still working the one, Megan, on eastbound 70 right past Union in the city. Looks like they still have the right lane blocked. It's just a slowdown, but just pay attention as you come around the bend through Goodfellow because it bogs down pretty quickly. And again, this is the local lanes of eastbound 70 there before you get to the express lane. So slow going back near Goodfellow. Northbound Highway 55, the right lanes are bogged down. Butler Hill up to 270 and all lanes from Bayless all the way up through Loughborough. Then it's not as bad as you ramp on to North 270 from 55. That ramp, of course, is slow. There's traffic slow through Gravois, Doherty Ferry to Manchester, and Clayton Road up to Ladue. South 270, south of Olive to Ladue, a little busy. Still have this jam, signal problems. 141 at Fiedler, they're on red flash. Traffic's a solid jam back through Tesson Ferry right now. Other than that, the rest of the highways look good. Just a little volume downtown. Westbound 64 from the 70 split to about 3rd Street, but then it opens up. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
.41, and it is windy. It is also still raining, but not as heavily in downtown St. Louis. Let's get the very latest right now from our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg, who is here to report that our roller coaster of temperatures continues.
It does indeed, Debbie. The heaviest of the rain is gone. There's still some light rain, as you mentioned, and there'll be a little bit of rain for the next couple of hours, but we're not going to add significantly to the totals that we've had so far, which is generally in the quarter to half an inch range so far. The big thing is the wind and the cold. It's 40 right now generally with a stiff wind out of the north-northeast, and that's making real field temperatures hover in the low 20s. Yeah, I had to mention that, didn't I? After being at record heat yesterday at 93 officially. Today, the rain moves out, the clouds break for some sun, but we only get back to 55. Then we'll drop to 32 tonight with clear skies. Sunny tomorrow, 57. Some sunshine Sunday back to 72. Partly to mostly sunny Monday and breezy and much warmer. Here goes the roller coaster back up again, up to 86. That's the record from 1986. And ahead of the next front, we could get to 88 above the record on Tuesday with some sunshine. Right now, cloudy and 58, or I should say it is 40 degrees at St. Peter's, 40 in Florissant, and it's 41 with some light rain downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
And I'm Joe Pott. I'll tell you who had a good day for the Redbirds yesterday as they get an opening day win.
More news now at 6:43. St. Louis water customers could be looking at another rate increase. The city is holding town halls to explain why. The Water Division projecting a nearly $10 million deficit by the end of June, with 399 main breaks last year and more than 100 already this year. Officials say the system, built for 1 million people but now serving fewer than 300,000, faces $700 million in infrastructure needs. Town halls are April 8th and 16th, both from 5:30 to 7 p.m. You can get details at stlwater.com.
The occupation that will continue to show growth into the future in the St. Louis area is healthcare practitioner. According to the Department of Labor, the region will add almost 62,000 jobs by 2032, with jobs in the healthcare industry leading the way. Other fast-growing occupations include computer and mathematical positions, transportation and material moving, community and social service, and construction. Positions showing negative growth include architecture, engineering, office and administrative support, and production.
St. Louis is growing, but barely, and only because of immigrants.
New Census Bureau estimates show that the region added just over 3,000 residents last year, the worst performance among large metros that gained population at all. The region had more deaths than births, more people leaving than arriving from other parts of the country, and about 5,600 fewer immigrants than the year before. St. Louis University demographer Ness Sandoval tells KMOX.
It's barely adding people, and 100% of that growth is from international migration.
But federal immigration policies are expected to shrink those numbers even further next year. And while counties like St. Charles and Jefferson may tout their growth, however small,
that growth is from residents 60 years old and over. The majority of that growth. And so these are residents who are leaving St. Louis County who are looking for their next chapter in life, which is retirement.
And that could mean a shocking stat for St. Charles County, which used to be known as the hotbed for young families.
St. Charles could actually become the oldest county in our region if these patterns continue for another decade.
Dr. Sandoval says the region needs to get serious. More young people, better image, more pro-business, and most importantly, neighbors need to be pro-housing. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Well, the Cardinals get an opening day win yesterday thanks to an 8-run sixth inning. J.J. Weatherholt goes deep in his first major league hit and home run. He finishes with 2 RBIs, of course, deserves a bunch of credit. But someone who deserves as much credit for yesterday's win, how about Cards left fielder Nathan Church? And it wasn't just at the plate. This play kept the Cards in front in the 5th inning.
The 1-0 pitch. There's a fly ball, and that's hit well to left field. Deep, back to the wall. Church, he jumps. He has it. He has it. Getting back to the wall. Taking extra bases away from Ryan Valade. 2 outs.
I think he took a home run away
Quite
from
possibly, but for sure extra bases.
Church finished with 3 hits at the plate yesterday, including this big one in the 6th inning.
Trying to come back against the Rays. Seymour deals. A swing, and the ball is lined into left. A base hit. That's going to score 1. Up with the ball, Simpson. His throw coming to the plate. Too late. A 2-run single for Nathan Church. And the Cardinals have climbed back within 2, 7-5 Tampa Bay.
He finishes 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, a run scored, and a home run robbing catch. Cards manager Oliver Marmol talked about his left fielder after the game.
You have a guy that came in last year and was overwhelmed. I mean, the game at this level got to him, and he had an offseason to train for rather than guessing what this is like up here. He knew exactly what he was getting into, and he's put in a lot of work, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. But you can't say enough about having a day like that in order to build off of it moving forward at the plate, the way he moved the baseball forward, but also that play in left was pretty incredible.
Incredible indeed. Who's Hot is sponsored by St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories. The Blues were at home last night at Enterprise Center. They faced the San Jose Sharks. Dalibor Dvorsky scored in the 2nd before the Sharks tied the game in the 3rd. And this one goes to OT, tied 1-1. Time running out now in the extra period.
10 seconds to go. Up to Holloway, to the front of the net. 5 remaining. He scores! Bring out the Zamboni. Holloway.
Chris Kerber on FanDuel Sports. Joel Hofer makes 24 saves, and the Blues win it by a score of 2-1 in overtime. They've won 3 straight, and they're back at it tomorrow. The Blues will drop the puck at 6 o'clock at Enterprise Center against the Maple Leafs. Next sports update comes up at 7:15. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This is Tom Ackerman. Whether you're looking for bulk compost or just a few bags, St. Louis Composting provides an extensive selection of compost, soil blends, and mulches. Visit one of their 9 facilities in St. Louis, or you can order online for convenient delivery to your home or job site. There are 9 area locations at stlcompost.com. Again, that site is stlcompost.com. At St. Louis Composting, they like to say, growing gardens, making memories. Enjoy your outdoor space this spring with vegetable gardens and fresh landscaping. With St. Louis Composting, they transform organic yard waste, branches, leaves, grass clippings, and more into premium compost through a 6-month static composting process. They are the largest and most trusted compost provider in the St. Louis area. They are St. Louis Composting. Online at stlcompost.com. That's stlcompost.com.
Lifestyles Unlimited is a real estate education group that gives you the roadmap and resources to start building income through real estate. You'll learn practical strategies for using investment properties to create extra income and make informed decisions, one step at a time. Join today for just $297. That's a 60% savings off the regular price of our real estate education program. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th. And you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 6:50. Let's get you caught up with traffic and weather. It looks like the rain is slowing down, so that's probably good news for your morning commute. The forecast in just a second. Here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, yeah, the rain may be slowing down, but the roads are still wet, so be careful. We've already had a few problems. In fact, they're still working the 1 Debbie in the city. Eastbound 70 Union, right lane still shut down. Traffic's backing up, again, pretty close to Goodfellow, so as you get into the city there, I get around the bend through Goodfellow, pay attention. Seeing a little slowdown westbound 70 right through Florissant Road and Cool Valley at this time as well. Northbound 270, still slow, both sides of Gravois, and then approaching 64 up to Ladue. South 270, midway down from Olive to Ladue is a little busy. Northbound 55, Bayless Weber area, the only real slowdown there. We still have this jam northbound on 141. It's south of 21, south of Tesson Ferry up to Fiedler. The signals are on red flash at Fiedler on northbound 141 right now. Downtown on the Illinois side, westbound 64 still looks good through 159. 64, though, is a little slow from the 70 split through to about 3rd Street. There's an incident. I can't tell if it's a stall or a crash, but looks like it's on the shoulder, but a little bit of a delay there. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And checking that forecast for today, it looks like we're going to have the rain and then breezy and cold today. Clouds will give way to some sunshine later on today. Expect a high only around 55, though. Clear and colder tonight, an overnight low of 32. And then tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. We're expecting a high of 57. Right now, some rain, 41 downtown at the Arch.
The news continues at 6:52. The Illinois legislature advances a bill that would stop the federal government from opening immigration detention centers within 1,500 feet of any home, school, daycare center, or place of worship. That a House committee advanced that bill on Wednesday, according to Capital News Illinois.
If passed, the bill would not be retroactive and would be limited as federal government is exempt from local zoning restrictions. Illinois already bans privately owned immigration detention centers.
An Illinois bill that would require serial numbers on all handgun ammunition sold in the state is facing Republican pushback. It would also impose a 5-cent per round fee and log purchases in a state police database. State Representative John Cabello from Rockford says he doesn't think the measure is constitutional.
I don't believe it's constitutional, and I don't see how she's doing anything but having law-abiding citizens spend more money. Border counties, people are just going to go across state lines, and that's a criminal is going to follow this. They're going to go to another state. They're going to buy whatever they want, and they're going to bring it back. It's a horrible bill.
No state has successfully passed similar legislation. The bill currently is in the House Judiciary Criminal Committee.
A proposal requiring expulsion of students who initiate sexual assaults at school has cleared the Illinois House Education Policy Committee. House Bill 5447 from Republican Representative C.D. Davidsmeyer of Murrayville would mandate a minimum 1-year expulsion. Davids-Meyer says school districts have tried to handle these cases quietly in the past.
We've had multiple cases of school districts that have tried to sweep it under the rug, and the reality is they tried to shift around the victim, and we want to make sure that the victim is not the one who is moved to a different bus or moved to a different classroom, but that the individual who perpetrated the crime is put into a different schooling system and receives the help that they need so that it never happens again.
The bill now heads to the full House for consideration.
An educator from East St. Louis is supporting a bill that would require kids in Illinois to be enrolled in kindergarten. Darla Wall is a principal with more than 20 years of experience.
In my school district, year after year, I see too many young students absent from kindergarten and missing out on fundamental learning exercises. They're not as prepared as their peers, and their entire educational career can be jeopardized.
Kindergarten is not required in Illinois or Missouri.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement.
It's your birthday.
Today's KMOX birthday shout out sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back, family owned and top rated, RennerDoorSTL.com. Celebrity birthdays for this Friday, March 27th include this very recognizable singer. That is, of course, Mariah Carey, 57 years old today. Actor Michael York is 84. Film director Quentin Tarantino is 63. And singer Fergie is 51.
Local celebrity birthdays include a happy 14th to Drew Blinko from Grandma and Grandpa Blinko. Happy 34th to Chloe King. Also, happy birthday wishes going out to Jay Patrick, Austin Carnes, Patty Petra, Carol Daniel, Steve Houston, Shelley Netherton, Joan Schomburg of Godfrey from her husband Troy, and happy birthday to Father Tom Wersch from your neighbors.
This is the best birthday ever.
It's been said that our eyes are the windows to the world. And so it stands to reason we should take care of those eyes, right? And wouldn't you want to entrust that care to vision experts? Well, that's what you'll find at Ophthalmology Associates, specialists in every field of eye care. And they all share the common mission to provide their patients the highest quality of personalized care and attention. Thorough eye exams, cataract treatment, advanced vision correction surgeries, all aspects of eye care that's right for you is right at Ophthalmology Associates. This is Rick Wallace. They have been my trusted partners in the health of my eyes for almost 30 years. They are the best. Ophthalmology Associates, Drs. Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
At a local speed dating event, homeowners weren't looking for love. They were looking for the one.
Honey, I got the best news.
What, you installed all the ceiling fans?
No, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Yeah, oh, you are. But this one is certified, background checked, and everyone was fighting over him. Plus, he can install all the ceiling fans.
Okay, who is this guy?
A Jerry Kelley technician.
For heating, cooling, electrical, or plumbing, find the one for your home. Schedule today at JerryKelley.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-200-1966, 800-200-1966, or biglou.com.
Let's get another check of the roads for you. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, they just cleared the crash eastbound 70 at Union within the last couple of minutes. Traffic's still a little slow, though. Goodfellow to about Kings Highway right now. I'm seeing delays. Looks like we have an incident westbound 270 just before the Chain Rocks Bridge. Traffic on westbound 270 is jammed at the Canal Bridge. Currently also see an incident eastbound 70 at Cypress. Traffic is backed up at Lindbergh because of that one. Also a minor incident south 270 just before Ladue. Traffic's backed up at Olive. Northbound 55 is cleared out through Bayless, and westbound 64 is cleared out past the 70 splits, looking better there. Next update is 710 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Today is Friday, March 27th. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
Downtown Kansas City has as many as 7 high-rises on the plans, and St. Louis.
We still have those 3 undeveloped parcels on the north side that we do surface.
The president of the Cardinals gives an update on Ballpark Village. I'm Michael Calhoun with the latest.
I'm Megan Lynch.
I'm Sean Malone. There's an expanding audit into a St. Louis City department. I've got that story coming up.
I'm Joe Pott. It was a Cardinals-Blues doubleheader yesterday in downtown St. Louis, and they both get wins. Details of both coming up in sports.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Breezy and dramatically colder today than yesterday as clouds give way to some sun, or high just 55.
The Senate passing a bill that could end the nightmare people are seeing at airports. That's coming up from CBS News.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The partial government shutdown could be over soon. Those massive lines at airports could dissipate after bickering lawmakers finally made a move. Correspondent Nicole Killian's on Capitol Hill.
Just after 2 a.m. here on the East Coast, the Senate voted to unanimously fund most of the Department of Homeland Security. That includes TSA and other parts of DHS like FEMA and the Coast Guard, but funding for ICE and CBP or Customs and Border Protection is not included.
Majority Leader John Thune gave credit to President Trump.
I suspect that every American traveler will be grateful that the president has found a way to address the terrible situation at U.S. airports and finally give TSA officers the pay that they're owed.
Lawmakers in the House could vote on the bill today. A near miss in the sky over Southern California. An alarm system activated on a United flight on final approach to John Wayne Airport near L.A. when an Army Black Hawk helicopter neared. Former NTSB Chair Robert Sumwalt.
This is closer than we would like for airplanes and helicopters to be.
The plane landed safely. It comes a year after a deadly collision between a passenger jet and an Army chopper near Washington, D.C. President Trump has extended the deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz by 10 more days. And we've learned what kind of present he was talking about earlier this week. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
For the first time, he revealed that big, expensive gift from Iran was 10 oil tankers allowed through the Strait of Hormuz.
I said, well, I guess we're dealing with the right people.
He says the move proves the people he's talking to have power to control the key shipping corridor Iran has effectively closed off for almost a month.
The Honolulu City Council's approved a settlement for a man who was arrested in a case of mistaken identity.
Joshua Spriestersbach was homeless and had schizophrenia when police arrested him in 2017, mistaking him for a man wanted on drug charges. He spent 4 months in jail and 28 months in a psychiatric hospital. Defense attorney Megan Cow.
4 public defenders heard this person's story saying it wasn't me, yet put it aside.
Retired federal public defender Alexander Silvert.
And it was an easy find. Fingerprints could have told you that.
The city council has approved a $975,000 settlement. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
One half of a soft rock duo has died. Dash Crofts from Seals and Crofts with Jim Seals in 1969. They had several hits before that 1972 chart topper. Croft was 87. Jim Seals died in 2022. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-265-7681.
At 7:04, we have a little bit of rain, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, March 27th. I'm Megan Lynch.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. A 51-year-old woman died yesterday morning after she was hit by a Metro bus in Clayton on Wednesday. It happened at the intersection of Forsyth and South Central. Clayton police say the woman was walking across South Central and was in a crosswalk when she was hit by the bus. That crash is now being investigated by county police.
A St. Louis County Uber driver stood trial yesterday facing sexual assault charges. 42-year-old Tadeo Hakiza has been charged with first-degree rape and is now being held without bond. The assault took place in early February after Hakiza dropped a female rideshare passenger off at her home. Police say the passenger fell asleep on her couch when she got home and woke up to Hakiza assaulting her. An Uber spokesperson told our partners at Fox 2 the company is ready to assist in the investigation.
A civil trial involving the death of a 3-year-old brought new photos to light yesterday.
The civil trial began and ended with a short day one, just introducing one piece of evidence, photos of the weighted blanket that was pulled over 3-year-old Conrad Ashcraft and allegedly contributed to his suffocation and death. Now, according to photos taken by the St. Francis County Sheriff's Department, the blanket's tag said adult size and weight and, quote, not for use with children. Now, despite that, Poppy's Playhouse 2 still used this weighted blanket to put children down for naps, including 3-year-old Conrad Ashcraft on the day that he was found dead. Now, how did the defense counter? Can't say. They didn't show up. The owner of Poppy's Playhouse 2, Spring Gray, is going without legal representation and has not been showing up to many of the hearings in the civil cases against her. We'll see if that changes as the trial moves forward. Outside the Jefferson County Courthouse, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Since March 1st, St. Louis County has seen a spike in overdose cases in emergency rooms. Dr. Kanika Cunningham with the County Health Department says there's another concern.
We're seeing a rapid and significant increase in a dangerous substance in our local drug supply that is called metatomidine, also known as rhino tranquilizer.
That drug cannot be reversed with naloxone, which reverses opioid overdoses. The 53 overdose cases she cited were only people sent to ERs and doesn't count those treated elsewhere. Those overdoses mostly in the 35 to 44 age group.
Is St. Louis feeling skyscraper envy?
We've seen an article from the Kansas City Business Journal get shared a lot. It says there are plans for 7 new high-rises in downtown KC, which would add nearly 1,900 new apartments. Downtown St. Louis is smaller size-wise than downtown KC, but has way more apartment units and just as many projects underway, though mostly historic rehabs versus glitzy high-rises. One spot where a new tower could rise.
You know, we remain really committed to downtown and the future of downtown. I mean, we're not going anywhere.
The president of the Cardinals, Bill DeWitt III, gives KMOX an update. He's pushing for a third phase of Ballpark Village.
Cordish has been our development partner, has been in Jefferson City talking about some ideas, and governor's supportive. And so you might see a little bit more on that later, but that remains a huge commitment of ours.
The same developer behind Ballpark Village also did the Power and Light District in KC. While St. Louis does have one Cardinal Way, KC's district now has residential towers 1 light, 2 light, and 3 light. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
From the KMOX Business Desk, the occupation that will continue to show growth into the future in the St. Louis area is healthcare practitioner. According to the Department of Labor, the region will add nearly 62,000 jobs by 2032, with jobs in the healthcare industry leading the way. Other fast-growing occupations include computer and mathematical positions, transportation and material moving, community and social service, and construction. Positions showing negative growth include architecture and engineering, office and administrative support, and production.
It is 7:08. We'll take a look at traffic and weather coming up next. Stay with us here on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Since 1898, we've been building homes in St. Louis with the same commitment to quality craftsmanship, prime locations, and personalized service. And now we're celebrating 128 years with our 1898 sale. For a limited time, save $18,980 plus receive $10,000 to $15,000 in cash at closing on all to-be-built homes. Visit McKelveyHomes.com to learn more. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey Homes?
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 404 exclusions apply.
Every child deserves a childhood. Make-A-Wish creates life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. A wish sparks a ripple of hope that transforms communities far and wide. When we grant wishes together, we create a movement of kindness, strength, and unity. Join us today at wish.org and be part of a journey that truly changes lives.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
7:10. Let's see what problems are out there. At least it sounds like it's getting better on eastbound 70. Roger Brand has more from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, everything's back to normal in the city, Megan. That's where we had a couple of crashes early this morning. They cleared those, but I'm looking at this would be westbound 70, right past Cypress, and police just pulled up on the scene. It looks like there's an overtime. I mentioned the delays earlier. It's backed up eastbound at Lindbergh, but it looks like the incident's westbound. Eastbound drivers are slowing for a look. Looks like a car is on its side in the ditch that slid off and flipped. So, again, roads are wet. Be careful. Doesn't look like there's any lane blockage right now, but no, I take that back. There's a car. There are cars off both directions on Highway 70 at Cypress. Both of them, one of them was overturned. The other one's off in the trees. They have the right lane blocked eastbound, so they're just. I'm getting a better view of it here. So problems both ways, but the eastbound side is the one that has the right lane blocked. Downtown westbound 64. About where we have a new incident, another crash, I guess it is, just past 70. Westbound 70 is actually jammed at Exchange. It really isn't impacting 64 right now. Other than that, we have that backup northbound 141 coming up from south of Tesla and Ferry to Fiedler. That's due to the signals being on red flash. And westbound 270, if I didn't mention that, Route 3 over through the Canal Bridge. It looks better as you approach the chain arc, so we had an incident there as well. Next update is 720 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, rain and a thunderstorm to start. Otherwise breezy and dramatically colder today than yesterday, with clouds giving way to some sunshine. The high only 55. Tonight will turn out clear and colder, low 32. Sunshine tomorrow, high 57. For Sunday, intervals of clouds and sun turning breezy and warmer again, high 72. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Right now in downtown St. Louis, it is windy with a little bit of drizzle and 40 degrees.
Great to have the Cardinals back. Great to have the Cardinals back on air on KMOX. I'll let you hear some pretty good calls coming up from yesterday.
More news now at 7:12. Need weed in the middle of the night but don't want to get out of your car? Suede Cannabis Dispensary opening the area's first 24-hour drive-through location in Overland tomorrow. The dispensary on Page Avenue, the company's 6th location in the region, also includes a delivery option. That location was formerly an Indian restaurant.
St. Louis water customers could be looking at another rate hike. The city is holding town halls to explain why. The Water Division projecting a nearly $10 million deficit by the end of June, with 399 water main breaks last year and more than 100 already this year. Officials say the system built for 1 million people, but now serving fewer than 300,000, faces $700 million in infrastructure needs. Town halls are set for April 8th and April 16th. Those will be from 5:30 to 7:30. All the details at stlwater.com.
State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick has announced an audit into the entire St. Louis City Building Division after initially auditing an inspector. Addie Bonjo Papalou was indicted on fraud charges by federal prosecutors earlier this month. The charges come amid allegations that he funneled millions of ARPA dollars through the building division and into businesses owned by him or his family.
Fitzpatrick tells KMOX the timeline for how long this audit will take is up in the air.
Timelines on these things are very dependent on what we find and how much work needs to be done based on what we find.
Mayor Kara Spencer says in a statement the city will cooperate fully and is ready to act on the audit's findings. She says the new building division director, which is now the subject of a national search, will take over at what she calls a pivotal time as the city accelerates demolitions and tornado recovery.
Although yesterday was National Equal Pay Day, some say it was anything but.
The difference is, I think we are taught that we need to be perfect at everything we do. And if we do not have all the skills, we actually do not go for it. I'm going to say if you have about 60% of what they're asking for, you can learn the rest. Go out there, go for it. Men have no problem doing it. Women just need to build that muscle.
Deborah Cox is director of career attainment with Rung for Women, a nonprofit designed to help women increase their income. She says it's important for women to practice articulating what their skills are so they can negotiate for better jobs or wages with employers. Cox advises women to not accept the first offer they're given. Instead, she tells them to do what most men do, talk themselves up and negotiate.
It is 7:15.
Opening day yesterday in downtown St. Louis. Warm weather, great crowds. Cardinals ushering in a new era yesterday, and who better to do that than rookie second baseman J.J. Weatherholt. This is his second at-bat of the day. It's a scoreless game as he leads off the third.
0-2 the count to Weatherholt, and he hits that ball high and deep to center field. He got a lot of that one, and it's gone! First Major League home run! First Major League hit for J.J. Weatherholt on an 0-2 pitch, straightaway center field, and it's 1-0 Cardinals on opening day.
What a call from Rick Horton right here on KMOX. That is our cut of the game, sponsored by the Diamond Shop, thediamondshop.net. Cards defense on display in the fifth as Ryan Valade sends one deep to left.
The 1-0 pitch. There's a fly ball, and that's hit well to left field. Deep, back to the wall. Church, he jumps. He has it. He has it. Getting back to the wall. Taking extra bases away from Ryan Valade. 2 outs. I think he took a home run away Quite possibly, but for sure extra bases.
Well, the next batter was Jonathan Aranda. He did get one out, and he tied the score at 1-1. But that's the only run that Matthew Liberatore gave up in his 5 innings in his first opening day start. It was on to the bullpens, and the Rays cashed in first, scoring 6 times in the 6th inning on 7 hits. They take a 6-1 lead, but the Cardinals answered quickly against the Rays bullpen. They open the inning with 4 straight hits before Nathan Church hits.
Trying to come back against the Rays. Seymour deals a swing, and the ball is lined into left, a base hit. That's going to score 1. Up with the ball, Simpson. His throw coming to the plate, too late. A 2-run single for Nathan Church. And the Cardinals have climbed back within 2, 7-5 Tampa Bay.
That was the 5th straight hit. It would become 7 straight hit before the Cards tie the game on back-to-back sacrifice flies. J.J. Weatherholt and Ivan Herrera both with sac flies. That ties the game, and it brings Alec Burleson to the plate with a runner on third.
2 outs, runner at third. Scott, the pitch. Burleson swings. He hits it a mile to right field. The Cardinals have the lead +1 on that 2-run homer by Alec Burleson. An 8-run 6th inning. Unbelievable.
Told you we had some good calls. How about that one from John Rooney yesterday? 8 runs, 8 hits in the inning, 9-7 Redbirds, and that's the way it stayed. Ryan Stanek on for his first save opportunity. The Rays load the bases thanks to 3 walks, but Former Cardinal Richie Palacios strikes out to end it. Ryan Stanek gets the save. The Cardinals get the win 9-7 as they win the opener. This series continues tomorrow. It's an off day today, tomorrow and Sunday at Busch Stadium as the Cards and the Rays finish off that series. Next sports update is 7:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair. Their crews are very polite and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right, nice, soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
7:20. Let's try to get you around the backups on the roads this morning. Roger Brand has the latest from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we have jam traffic going in both directions right now. Well, it's jammed eastbound, but there's crashes in both directions on 70 at Cypress, one off the roadway eastbound and one actually overturned off the roadway westbound. They have the right lane blocked eastbound right now while a flatbed tow truck tries to get that one out. That one's a little easier of a proposition to deal with right now. And the jam on eastbound 70 is back to St. Charles Rock Road. Westbound 270 is completely thinned out now. Coming through Route 3 to the Chain Rocks Bridge, that earlier incident's been cleared. If you're on North 270, just a little busy up around Clayton Road. South 270, South Olive to Ladou's a little slow. Northbound 55, off the pace between Bayless and Weber. Back to seeing some volume downtown. Westbound 64 backed up, approaching Ball Avenue through the 70 split. We had a second crash there. They were clearing. 5570 has delays near 203. And we still have this jam northbound 141, just south of 21 up to Fiedler. The signals are on red flash. Next update is 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Glover here from my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Weather-wise, we're starting out the day kind of wet, but it's just going to be a breezy, cloudy day with maybe a peak here and there of sunshine and a high of 55 degrees, sunshine and 57 tomorrow. And then it heats up a bit on Sunday with a high of 72, and then we're back into the mid to upper 80s for Monday and Tuesday. Right now, it's 40 degrees downtown.
The news continues at 7:22. The Illinois Commerce Commission has approved a 5-year program to make improvements to rail crossings.
The agency approved $376 million for safety improvements at 387 crossings, with the aim, according to Commissioner Michael Kerrigan, of preventing train collisions and saving lives. There were 34 fatalities and rail crossing incidents in Illinois last year, according to the Federal Railroad Administration, a total of 119 collisions. Locations where the work is being done can be found on the ICC website. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Illinois legislature advancing a bill that would stop the federal government from opening immigration detention centers within 1,500 feet of any home, school, daycare center, or place of worship. A House committee advanced the bill on Wednesday, according to Capital News Illinois.
If passed, it would not be retroactive and would be limited as federal government is exempt from local zoning restrictions. Illinois already bans privately owned immigration detention centers.
The Ammo Registration Act, a proposed bill in Illinois, would require all handgun ammunition sold in the state to carry serial numbers and be logged in a state police database, and would impose a 5-cent per round fee on ammunition sold. The bill is set for a hearing in the House Judiciary Criminal Committee. Republican Representative Travis Weaver of Peoria says the bill targets law-abiding gun owners, not criminals.
So we're talking about a tax for ammunition for anybody who purchases it. So think about a single woman who lives alone. She has a firearm for self-protection. She target shoots so that she's ready should something bad happen. This person who's desperately interested in self-defense has no intentions of ever committing a crime. We're now going to make it harder on her to defend herself in the privacy of her own home. We're not going to be taxing the people that commit crime. They're just going to steal it.
15 states have attempted similar ammunition serialization legislation. None have passed. Gun rights organizations say if the bill succeeds in Springfield, similar measures could follow in blue states around the country.
The Illinois House Education Policy Committee has passed a bill dealing with sexual assault in schools. The bill, sponsored by Republican Representative C.D. Davidsmeyer, it would require a student who's been determined to have initiated a sexual assault to be expelled for no less than a year. Davidsmeyer says the bill is designed to protect victims.
It guarantees that the individual will be expelled for 1 year. They can go into an alternative education program, which most of our local school districts or regional offices of education have available, but certainly want to make sure that it's not the victim that's having their life changed.
If passed, it would apply to incidents at a school-sponsored activity, or any event that bears a reasonable relationship to school. It now moves to the full House.
Kindergarten is not mandatory for students in Illinois, and State Representative Kevin Schmidt of Millstadt wants to change that.
House Bill 4253 would require all students in Illinois to enroll in kindergarten to learn essential skills in reading, writing, and mathematics before entering first grade.
Kids can enter kindergarten early, but under his bill would have to begin before the age of 6. By the way, kindergarten is also not legally required in Missouri either.
A bill pushing for fewer restrictions on raw milk stalls in the Illinois State House.
What makes raw milk different from other milk is that it's not heated or pasteurized to remove illness-causing organisms. Because of that, Illinois has strict laws outlining the product can only be sold at state-regulated farms. It can't be sold at a grocery store. This bill would allow raw milk to be sold at other locations, like farmers markets. However, it's sponsored by only one lawmaker. Previous efforts to deregulate raw milk have also drawn little support in the State House in the past. The renewed efforts by proponents of raw milk came as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was promoted to U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary. Kennedy has long been an advocate of raw milk. However, since taking the federal position, he seemed to focus on promoting whole milk instead. While the bill in Illinois has the support of many farmers, the Illinois Department of Public Health is majorly opposed to the bill. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
Always something new on opening day at Busch Stadium, especially when it comes to food offerings. Vicki Bryant is the Cardinals' VP of Event Services and brought Chris and Amy the new Shaq's Big Chicken, Nashville hot chicken with a double waffle bun. And then there's the hot dog burnt ends.
I have to tell you, when the first time that Chef gave me this as a concept and wanted me to review it and prove it, I was kind of skeptical.
Okay.
And he said, just wait and try it. I took one bite and I said, approved.
Also, don't forget about the fried gooey butter cake on a stick, which Joe Pott tells us he did try yesterday.
Yeah, he said it was huge.
It's big and it's fried. So there you go.
I would like to try the hot dog burnt ends. I might try that once.
Yeah, it's served with potato salad.
Oh, okay. To take the edge off the burnt.
I guess. I don't know.
It's now 7:27. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry.
My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
"Are you kidding me?"
Tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
I got my first real six-string.
Brian Adams. Roll with the Punches Tour 2026. A night full of hits. Live at Enterprise Center, Friday, July 24th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com.
If you live in Missouri, have Medicaid, and need a caregiver, this message is important. Care at home is personal. That's why you may not want a stranger in your home to take care of you. You want someone who already knows you and your daily routines. With Freedom Care, you choose a trusted family member, a friend, or a neighbor. They will get paid after every shift to care for you, and it's 100% free to you. More than 70,000 people have already joined the Freedom Care family. Call your local Freedom Care. They'll check your Medicaid eligibility. Don't wait until a stranger shows up at your door. If you have Medicaid and need help at home, this care is available 100% free to you. Call Freedom Care now to see if you qualify. 314-907-0892. 314-907-0892. That's 314-907-0892.
Freedom Care, we're here for you. Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It is 7:30, and it looks like the rain may be done for now in downtown St. Louis, but it's still quite windy out there. We've got 40 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Megan Lynch. Let's check in with Roger Brand and see what the situation is on the roads. He joins us from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Megan, we still have issues on Highway 70. It looks to me like they cleared the crash eastbound 70 at Cypress. So there's still a backup Rock Road at Lindbergh on 70. Now they're working with the westbound 70 overturned off the roadway, and the right lane is shut down westbound 70. So that jam goes back to air flight on westbound 70. And now we have an incident in the city. It looks like a crash eastbound 70 as you get into the express lanes. So there's a little bit of a slowdown there in the express lanes, and there's a westbound jam. It looks like they're maybe the emergency vehicles. Police are parked in the left lane westbound 70 at that point just before Union. So the westbound 70 backup goes back through Shreve. So a couple of issues on Highway 70 affecting traffic in both directions, obviously. Downtown, starting to see a little bit of a delay westbound 64 through 159. We've had two crashes westbound 70, 64 rather, at 3rd Street. It's heavy from Ball Avenue to there, and 5570 delays from 203 up to it. Northbound 270 approaching Gravois midway to 44, and north of Manchester up toward Clayton Road's heavy. South 270 Olive de Ladue is a little busy as well. Next update is 740 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Rain and a thunderstorm started us off. The rest of the day is just going to be cloudy with maybe a bit of sunshine. It's going to be breezy with a high of 55. Tomorrow, sunshine at 57, 72 on Sunday, and then back into the mid to upper 80s for Monday and Tuesday. It's 40 out there right now.
It's now 7:32. A St. Louis County Uber driver on trial for sexual assault charges. 42-year-old Tadeo Hakiza has been charged with first-degree rape and is now being held without bond. The assault took place In early February, after Hakiza dropped a female rideshare passenger off at her home, police say the passenger fell asleep on her couch when she got home and woke up to Hakiza assaulting her. An Uber spokesperson tells our partners at Fox 2 the company is ready to assist in the investigation.
Tomorrow is the third No Kings protest, and it's expected to be the largest, with more than 3,000 protests against Donald Trump's actions and policies planned across the country. Last June's protest drew about 5 million people. October's about 7 million, according to Harvard University's crowd counting consortium.
In the St. Louis region, there are a number of locations where marches are being organized throughout the morning and afternoon. The downtown St. Louis March kicks off at 1 p.m. Earlier marches kick off around 11 in St. Peters, St. Charles, Alton, Herman, Warrenton, Troy, Festus, Florissant, and South County.
Kansas City has as many as 7 new downtown high-rises on the drawing board. Is St. Louis getting jealous?
Many of the projects in St. Louis are historic conversions or rehabs, from Mansion House to the Jefferson Arms. There is the new replacement for the Millennium on the riverfront. And the president of the Cardinals, Bill DeWitt III, tells KMOX he's committed to downtown and continues to push for a third phase of Ballpark Village.
We still have those 3 undeveloped parcels on the north side that we do surface parking. We could go vertical on those. So I think growing is important, and it sends a message to people that are down on downtown, or they're, just stuck in the negativity spiral. There's a lot going on here.
One Cardinal Way opened in 2020. The same developer behind Ballpark Village, Cordish Companies, also did the Power and Light District in Kansas City and has 3 residential towers there. The latest, called 3 Light, opened in 2023. DeWitt says downtown residential tax credits in Jefferson City would be helpful to development in downtown St. Louis. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. We'll have your money report next. It's 7:34.
Italian subs for your finance team at Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I opened a restaurant and needed everything. Menus, signage, catering brochures.
Everything and then some.
I went to Staples. They printed it all and even suggested takeout menus.
One money pit with a side of fries.
But now at Staples, you get up to $125 off custom print orders.
$125 off. Now you're cooking. Brand your business in a big way at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in store, online, or in the app by 4/18 to unlock. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
It is 7:35. It is time for your Bloomberg Money Minute. It's sponsored by Busey Bank.
This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. The economic toll of the war is hitting Wall Street. Stocks are heading for their longest streak of weekly losses since 2022. S&P futures are dropping this morning. Meantime, it's been a rough start to the year for Microsoft. Shares are on track for its worst quarterly performance since a global financial crisis 2 decades ago. First, the software giant is doubling down on spending as Wall Street wonders when all the investment in artificial intelligence will actually pay off. Second, investors are selling software stocks over fears that AI can replace products made by companies like Microsoft. Shares are down 24% this quarter. And a strategy shift at Apple. The company is said to be planning to open Siri to outside artificial intelligence systems. It's a major move aimed at boosting the iPhone as an AI platform. The assistant can already tap into ChatGPT through a partnership with OpenAI, but sources tell us Apple will soon allow competing services to do the same. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
What matters to you matters to us. That's why Busey Bank takes the time to understand your goals and build solutions that fit your story. From everyday banking to long-term planning, our team is here to help you navigate every stage with care and expertise. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbor, your advisor, and your advocate. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Unlock a brighter outdoor space in 2026 with Chesterfield Valley Nursery. Let us be your trusted partner for all your landscaping, lawn, and gardening needs, empowering you to create a haven that brings joy and serenity to your life. From landscape design to property maintenance to our garden center, we're here for you. Houseplants, tree shrubs, organic soil mixes, gardening and plant classes, and more. Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center has what you need no matter what the season. Visit us weekdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday hours start in March. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for all class and sale updates.
The legendary Fast Eddie of Fast Eddie's Bon Air and Cardinals Hall of Famer Jason Isringhausen.
Hey, it's that time of year again, man. It's starting to warm up. And you know the sun's getting a little brighter. I can hear the crack of the bat.
Yeah, the true pros are doing just a little bit of stretching here and there, getting rid of those winter kinks, getting ready for those days that really count, Eddie. I'm talking about the ones you'll always remember at Fast Eddie's Bon Air.
Boy, now you got that right. It is all they can do to get ready for the lineup of the delicious eats, man. It's a half-pound Fat Eddie burger. Man, it's a hot chick on a stick, that big elwood on a stick, and you know the succulent peel and eat shrimp are sitting over there on deck.
You do know I have to stretch out a little bit before I start hitting that dance floor, listening to that live music 7 days a week on that huge outdoor patio.
Well, it's like any other training, man. You got to warm up to get that party face on. It's really difficult out there to have that much fun on that warm, toasty patio. You know, like Mr. Shannon always said, if you're 21 and in the mood, it's Fast Eddie's Bon Air.
Attention business owners with a net income over $500,000. You need to work with a tax strategist that understands your entrepreneurial mindset. Download the most recent white paper written by E3 Consultants Group titled The Power of a Professional Tax Strategy Team. Go to e3wealth.com/radio to obtain a copy. It's time to learn about wealth and tax strategies that protect your personal and business economy. E3 is ready to help you think differently about your finances. Educate, empower, enlighten. That's the E3 difference.
For residential and commercial heating repairs, service, maintenance, or installation, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. With over 50 years of HVAC service, get in your comfort zone this winter. Visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Debuting Tuesday, March 31st, it's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
7:40, time to check the roads again with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we've got traffic delays in both directions, Megan, because of incidents on 70 at Cypress. There's a little slowdown eastbound and a jam westbound from the airport to Cypress. The right lane's closed westbound. We had vehicles off the roadway at both locations originally, and they're still working with the westbound one. Then we have a crash. The express lanes are currently closed. It's at the entrance to the express lanes. And westbound 70, they have the left lane shut down there. So westbound 70 is slow coming around the bend at O'Fallon Park. Westbound 64 downtown from the 70 split to 3rd Street is heavy. Northbound 270 Doherty Ferry up through to 64 is heavy. South 270 south of 364 down to Ladue is slow. We want to talk about our USPS Ground Advantage reliable route. We still have the signal problems. 141 at Fiedler. You are jammed back south of 21. So you can take, if you know your way around, you can take Vogel to Londell to Saline to Northwest Boulevard on the west side of it, or the easier option is to take 270 northbound, because 270 northbound, just like I said, has that slowdown north of Gravel up toward 44, and so between 55 and 44, it's just a little slow there as opposed to that jam on northbound 141. There's also a bit of a backup northbound on 21 from Sutton Hills up through Wells, and then it starts opening up 55. Bayless Weber area is just a little busy as well. Next update is 7:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is 7:41, and it's time to check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. I'm just watching the Missouri flag across the street here at Soldiers Memorial, Joe, and it is blowing straight out, so it's pretty breezy this morning.
It's what we call starched right now, because it's just standing straight out right now. With a stiff north to northeast wind blowing. And that's making it feel like it's about 25 outside right now. At least it's chased most of the rain out of the area. Maybe a sprinkle for the next hour or so, and that's going to be about it. But it's brought in a much, much, much colder air mass that is going to be with us for the next 36 hours. Clouds will break for some sun, but that breeze will persist. Our high only gets back to 50. It's easy for me to say 55. I'm frozen. Clear and colder tonight, down to 32. Sunshine tomorrow, still only 57. But then it warms up again. This yo-yo weather continues into the early part of next week. Back to 72 with some sunshine on Sunday. We warm into the mid-80s on Monday, perhaps upper 80s Tuesday ahead of the next cold front. Then maybe some thunderstorms for that late Tuesday or Tuesday night. 40 at St. Peter's, 39 in Florissant, cloudy, 40 downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Joe Pott. Cards pick up an opening day win, and the Blues pick up a win. It was busy in downtown, and I've got the details coming up in sports.
More news now at 7:42. Missouri native and U.S. Congressman Wesley Bell says ICE needs to be defunded, abolished, and stripped for parts.
Most Americans believe that we do have to secure our borders, but the way that they're doing it, terrorizing not only immigrants coming into this country, but also killing Americans in broad daylight. How can we sit back and do nothing? No, we're going to fight.
Bell spoke with CNN this morning after the U.S. Senate passed a bill to fund DHS overnight. That funding bill includes TSA but excludes ICE. It now goes to the House, which could vote on the funding plan as soon as today.
The latest census figures are out, and as usual, for our region, the numbers are sobering.
The city of St. Louis lost more than 2,300 residents. St. Louis County lost 755. 5 of 8 Metro East counties lost population. St. Charles County kept growing, but even there, the pace is slowing. And those who are moving in are now of retirement age, over 60, not the young families we'd heard about for decades. The region overall grew by 3,000 people last year. The business chamber group, Greater St. Louis Inc., released a statement calling the numbers, quote, a positive trend. But St. Louis University demographer Dr. Ness Sandoval says
it's not growing, it's stagnation.
The chamber does add, quote, it is clear that we need to focus more energy and resources on creating more and better jobs across the metro to drive much stronger growth than we are seeing. The region's situation contrasts with San Antonio's, adding 40,000 new people. It's only 1,000 behind the St. Louis area now, putting it on pace to knock St. Louis down from 23rd largest metro to 24th next year.
There is actually an increase in the number of people dying now, and a decrease in number of babies born.
Dr. Sandoval says the region's natural population loss is behind only Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So what needs to happen?
This is why you have to get younger. You have to be proactive, pro-business, pro-housing.
And yet Sandoval says he still sees neighbors in outlying counties celebrating the voting down of new subdivisions.
But without understanding what the long-term consequences are when you decide we're not going to build housing for families with children, then you have to understand you're going to shrink as a region.
Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The St. Louis Battlehawks kick off their season this Saturday. The man putting together the game plan to bring long-term success to the league will be at the Dome.
My first game live as a UFL owner will be in St. Louis.
Mike Rapoli, known for co-founding Vitamin Water, Smart Water, and Body Armor. Total Information AM asked what he thinks about the Battlehawks fan base and brand.
It's the model. It's the model of what I'm trying to create.
Rapoli says if fans continue to fill seats at the Dome, the Battlehawks can stay there. He's moved other teams in the league to smaller stadiums.
Well, the Cards get an opening day win yesterday. J.J. Weatherholt got him started in the third.
0-2 the count to Weatherholt, and he hits that ball high and deep to center field. He got a lot of that one, and it's gone! First Major League home run! First Major League hit for J.J. Weatherholt on an 0-2 pitch, straightaway center field, and it's 1-0 Cardinals on opening day.
Well, it was 1-1 before the Rays had a big sixth inning. They scored 7 times, or 6 times rather. It was a 7-1 game. And then the Cardinals came back in the bottom of the inning. 8 runs, 8 hits in the 6th. Game tied 7-7 when Alec Burleson unties it.
2 outs, runner at third. Scott, the pitch. Burleson swings. He hits it a mile to right field. The Cardinals have the lead +1 on that 2-run homer by Alec Burleson. An 8-run 6th inning. Unbelievable.
The Cardinals hang on for that 9-7 win. Ryan Stanek picks up his first Cardinals save, and that series continues with games tomorrow and Sunday at Busch Stadium. It was a doubleheader sports day in downtown St. Louis. The Blues were home last night. They were at Enterprise Center facing the Sharks. It's a scoreless game in the second.
Holloway's going to get it into the offensive zone. He's got it alone behind the net, and the backhand off his stick. Score! Dvorsky right there. Ripped it past Nedeljkovic, and the Blues break the tie.
Chris Kerber on FanDuel Sports Network. Third period, Alexander Wenberg ties the game early in the period. And this one goes to overtime. Tied 1-1. Time running out now in the extra period.
10 seconds to go. Up to Holloway. To the front of the net. 5 remaining. He scores! Bring out the Zamboni. Holloway.
Joel Hofer makes 24 saves on 25 shots, and the Blues have won 3 straight. It's another doubleheader tomorrow with the Cardinals in the afternoon. The Blues then will drop the puck at 6 o'clock against the Maple Leafs. NCAA Tournament Sweet 16 getting started last night. Number 3 seed Illinois facing last year's runner-up, second-seeded Houston. This one was low scoring to start, 24-22 Illini lead at half. Illinois pulls away in the second half before Houston tried to mount a comeback, but to no avail.
One of their opponents from the Big Ten, Iowa, on Saturday. The Illini are going back to the Elite Eight.
Kevin Harlan on TBS with the call there. Illini moving on with a 65-55 win. As you heard, they face Iowa tomorrow. The Hawkeyes beat Nebraska 77-71. Purdue also a winner, 79-77 over Texas. Arizona easily handles Arkansas. It'll be Purdue and Arizona tomorrow. St. John's and Duke tonight, Alabama and Michigan, Michigan State and UConn, and Tennessee and Iowa State all looking to get to the Elite Eight. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
At Ophthalmology Associates, their goal is to ensure that every one of their patients enjoys the best possible eyesight at every stage of their life. This is Rick Wallace, and I've been through several life stages with Ophthalmology Associates. I've trusted them with my eye care for almost 30 years. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer head up a network of leading specialists in every field of eye health. They're involved in leading-edge research and equipped with the latest technology to handle the most complex situations. And there is always personalized eye care tailored to your individual needs and preferences at Ophthalmology and Associates. Oh, yeah, pediatric eye care, too, and a full-service optical shop. Ophthalmology Associates. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th. And you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
Now the news at 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:51. Here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still got our troubles, Debbie, on Highway 70. They're still working with the overturned vehicle crash off the roadway westbound 70 at Cypress. The right lane's closed. Traffic's jammed back to the east terminal of the airport. And they're still working the crash in the express lanes in the city. The express lanes are closed, eastbound 70, and eastbound 70 is bogged down. And not a jam, but it's pretty busy coming in from about Jennings Station. Southbound 270 from Page down to Ladue looks fine. North 270, north of Gravelwood to 44 slow, approaching Manchester up to Ladue. That's busy. Westbound 64. Clayton's Kinker to Bellevue, Big Bend area, just a little heavy. We still have this jam northbound 141 from just south of 21, northbound 140 jams up to Fiedler because the signals are on flash. Northbound Tesson Ferry is backed up approaching Suisun Hills through Wells. Then you're in better shape. And downtown, we still have a little heavy traffic westbound 64, 70 split through 3rd Street. We had a couple of earlier incidents there. Next update at 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be breezy and colder today. We may see some sunshine this afternoon. Expect a high only 55 degrees. Clear and colder tonight. An overnight low dipping down to 32 degrees. And then we'll see some sunshine tomorrow with a high of 57. Right now, We have 38 degrees downtown at the Arch.
It is 7:52. Drivers on I-255 may encounter some smoke on their morning commute that stems from a fire in Cahokia Heights that broke out this morning. Our partners at Fox 2 report that fire engulfed 2 businesses and several vehicles, with reports of tires exploding from the heat. One of the affected businesses is believed to be an auto repair shop. Firefighters are currently at the scene.
In the first week of March, there were 49 overdose cases in St. Louis County emergency rooms. That recently spiked to 53, according to County Health Department's Dr. Kanika Cunningham.
Adults aged 35 to 44 made up the largest share of these cases. About 53% of these were men, 47% were women. Black and African American residents accounted for 53% of the cases.
Cunningham says a new drug they're seeing called metatomidine or rhino tranquilizer is being mixed with other drugs. She says the new drug does not respond to Narcan or naloxone, which typically does reverse opioid overdoses.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol is leading the investigation into Wednesday's armed robbery at the Isle of Capri Casino in Boonville. The FBI and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms are assisting in the investigation. Highway Patrol Lieutenant Eric Brown says 2 men, one with a rifle, one with a handgun, stole an unknown amount of money from the casino and fled in a tan older model Ford Taurus, which they later abandoned.
At this point, the description of suspect we have is very limited. Right now, our officers are still processing evidence. They did recover evidence at the scene that they're working on, and also following up on numerous leads.
The casino did reopen for business the next morning.
A bill aimed at revitalizing downtown St. Louis cleared a major hurdle Wednesday. The Missouri House passed the Revitalizing Downtowns and Main Streets Act, a lopsided bipartisan vote, 119 to 27. The legislation would create office-to-residential conversion tax credits and other economic tools targeting large vacant properties like the AT&T building and Railway Exchange in downtown St. Louis. That bill now heads to the Senate.
Judges in Missouri would be allowed to issue lifelong restraining orders against criminals convicted of a dangerous felony under a bill sponsored by Republican State Senator Mike Moon of Ash Grove.
The order is can be served if this is passed at the time of sentencing and remains in force until the offender either dies or the conviction is overturned or the victim files a written request to the court to terminate the order.
Dangerous felonies that would warrant a lifetime restraining order include rape, kidnapping, arson, domestic assault, and others as defined by state law. The bill was heard Wednesday in the Senate Judiciary Committee.
Songwriting can be more than a form of expression. For some St. Louisans, it's therapy.
It can be incredibly healing, particularly when you've gone through unthinkable pain that can be very hard to articulate. So music can give us a place to safely process some of those difficult emotions.
Rachel Ebling is the executive director with the St. Louis-based Angel Band Project. She says the project utilizes trauma-informed music therapy to help survivors of sexual and intimate partner violence heal through songwriting. The project holding a concert in Webster Groves this Saturday at 7 p.m.
We are inviting the whole community to come and celebrate these songs.
Would you rather have it be 91 degrees on opening day or in the 50s? That's a question Chris and Amy asked Cardinals president Bill DeWitt III.
100% 91.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it's easy, right? You can dress light and, 90's a little hot, but.
Yeah, let's ease into it a little bit. Can we do that?
Yeah, easing into it, but we've just been all over the place. If you like the 50s, we're there today. So there you go. It's 7:56.
Swings, and it's a high fly ball. That's hit deep. It's a gunner! It's a gunner! And a game winner!
Start the season in style on Saturday, March 28th. The Cardinals welcome the Tampa Bay Rays for a spring showdown downtown. That day, you can score a lightweight Cardinals pullover, a navy blue look built for early season nights, and easy everyday wear. Comfortable, classic, and ready for cool evenings at the ballpark. It's a layer you'll reach for all season long. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Hot matchup, colder drinks, only at Busch Stadium when the Cardinals host the Tampa Bay Rays on Sunday, March 29th. Fans will take home a stainless steel Cardinals tumbler presented by Coca-Cola and Quick Trip, designed to lock in the cold and show off your Cardinals pride. It's the perfect companion for 9 innings and beyond. A practical addition to any Cardinals collection that'll keep you cool all game long. Tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Nolan Gorman. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling. Our family's called the Saliga family for 18 years, and we are grateful for Saliga's honesty, knowledge, and professionalism. They're the best. For more info, visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
7:58, time to get the latest on the roads with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's still no change on Highway 70, Megan. Westbound 70, the right lane still shut down at Cypress because of a crash. Traffic's jammed back to the east terminal. And eastbound 70, the express lanes are closed in the city because of a crash. Eastbound 70 slow east of Lucas Hunt into that point right now. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is 7:59, Friday, March the 27th. NASA is nearly ready for the first mission to the moon in 5 decades. We'll talk to a WashU physics professor who's worked on several NASA projects.
I'm Megan Lynch, and coming up on Total Information AM, we'll also look back at the biggest stories of the week.
Route 66 celebrating a milestone 100 years. We'll go in depth on the Mother Road.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Today will be breezy and much colder than yesterday as clouds yield to some sun. The high just 55.
The Senate passes a bill funding most of the Homeland Security Department and hopefully will end some of the problems we've been seeing at airports across the country. The latest from CBS News next. At the Tone, it's 8 o'clock.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. It's up to lawmakers in the House now after the Senate voted early this morning to fund the Department of Homeland Security, accept ICE and its operations, pay TSA agents, and make life easier for airline passengers. CBS's Jared Hill.
The Senate agreed essentially to what the Democrats have been proposing from the jump. All of this paving the way for a smoother journey at airports across the country.
Correspondent Jason Allen checks in from the airport in Houston.
Houston's airport's been operating at less than half of their 37 checkpoints, depending on what staffing is day to day. And that's even with an additional 30 plus TSA officers who have been surged here. In Atlanta, there were lines that were stopping at the passenger drop off where you just get out of the car. In New York's LaGuardia Airport, the lines were surging throughout the terminal.
The House could vote on the funding bill as soon as today. President Trump has made another sudden shift on the Iran war. He's extended his deadline for reopening the Strait of Hormuz by 10 more days after revealing Iran allowed 10 oil tankers safe passage. Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived in France today for meetings with G7 foreign ministers. The BBC's Nomia Iqbal is in Paris.
There is a lot of confusion out of the US on exactly what that is. He will want G7 members to help in reopening the Strait of Hormuz. For the G7, the other members, this is a really uncomfortable position because broadly speaking, they do not support the war.
3 people have been killed, 2 injured in a helicopter crash on a remote beach on the Hawaiian island of Kauai. Mayor Derek Kawakami.
4 passengers, 1 pilot. From the information that we received, it is a tour helicopter.
Tours are popular for exploring the cliffs, the beaches, and waterfalls that line the Napali coast. A CBS News survey finds more Americans are using AI, but they're still skeptical.
56% of those polled say they use AI, up from 41% a year ago. But there are some tasks people do not trust AI to handle. Only 13% say they'd be comfortable having AI drive their taxi or rideshare. A mere 15% would be okay having AI handle their finances or make health diagnoses. Americans are much more comfortable with AI handling more mundane tasks like proofreading and finding things online. 66% believe AI will cause more job losses. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Get set to pay more for Netflix. Here's CBS's Matt Wolf.
The streamer says it's increasing subscriber costs across 3 tiers. Ad-supported subscription goes up to $8.99, up $1. The standard plan going up $2 a month.
Brent crude tops 110 again. Dow futures down 193. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60.
At 8:03, we have cloudy skies, 39 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Friday, March 27th. I'm Megan Lynch. Drivers on Interstate 255 might see some smoke in their morning commute. It's from a fire in Cahokia Heights that broke out this morning. Our partners at Fox 2 report that fire engulfed 2 businesses and several vehicles. One of the affected businesses believed to be an auto repair shop. Firefighters currently active at that scene. A St. Louis County Uber driver is on trial for sexual assault. 42-year-old Tadeo Hakiza has been charged with first-degree rape and is now being held without bond. That assault took place in early February after Hakiza dropped a female rideshare passenger off at her home. Police say the passenger fell asleep on her couch when she got home and woke up to Hakiza assaulting her. An Uber spokesperson tells our partner at Fox 2 the company is ready to assist in the investigation. New photos emerged yesterday during a civil trial involving the death of a 3-year-old.
One of these civil trials against the owner of Poppy's Playhouse 2 has begun, with one piece of evidence being introduced so far. Photos of the weighted blanket that was pulled over 3-year-old Conrad Ashcraft and allegedly suffocated him. Now, photographs taken by the St. Francis County Sheriff's Department of the weighted blanket show on its tag, it says adult size and weight, and explicitly says, quote, not for use with children. Now, despite this being written on the tag, Poppy's Playhouse 2 used this weighted blanket to try to put Conrad Ashcraft down for a nap, resulting in his suffocation and death. Also worth noting with this trial, the defendant, Spring Gray, the owner of Poppy's Playhouse 2, has been going without legal representation and not showing up to these hearings either. We'll see if she does as the trial moves forward. Outside the Jefferson County Courthouse, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
After a St. Louis City building inspector was charged with 3 counts of wire fraud, accused of stealing millions of dollars from the city, the entire department is now under audit.
The audit is an expansion of Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick's investigation into Building Division Inspector Adebanjo Popula after allegedly funneling pandemic money towards companies he or his family created. Auditor Fitzpatrick says this new expanded audit is precautionary.
I would not say that I'm suspicious or not suspicious. We're just going to do the audit because of the fraud that we know occurred in one part of the building division.
He adds the audit is to identify conditions within the building division that allowed this fraud to take place and find solutions on how to prevent it from happening again. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Spencer says the city is fully cooperating with the audit and is prepared to implement any recommendations. The mayor adds the city has also launched a national search for a new building division director. Tomorrow is the third No Kings protest. It's expected to be the largest, with more than 3,000 protests against Donald Trump's actions and policies planned across the country. Last June's protest drew about 5 million people. October's about 7 million. That's according to Harvard University's crowd counting consortium. In the St. Louis region, there are a number of locations where marches are being organized throughout the morning and afternoon. A downtown march kicks off at 1. Earlier marches kick off around 11 in St. Peters, St. Charles, Alton, Herman, Warrenton, Troy, Festus, Florissant, and South County. Is St. Louis feeling skyscraper envy?
We've seen an article from the Kansas City Business Journal get shared a lot. It says there are plans for 7 new high-rises in downtown KC, which would add nearly 1,900 new apartments. Downtown St. Louis is smaller size-wise than downtown KC, but has way more apartment units and just as many projects underway, though mostly historic rehabs versus glitzy high-rises. One spot where a new tower could rise.
You know, we remain really committed to downtown and the future of downtown. I mean, we're not going anywhere.
The president of the Cardinals Cardinals build with the third gives KMOX an update. He's pushing for a third phase of Ballpark Village.
Cordish has been our development partner, has been in Jefferson City talking about some ideas, and governor's supportive. And so you might see a little bit more on that later, but that remains a huge commitment of ours.
The same developer behind Ballpark Village also did the Power and Light District in KC. While St. Louis does have one Cardinal Way, KC's district now has residential towers 1 light, 2 light, and 3 light. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
From the KMOX business desk, the profession that's going to continue to show growth into the future in the St. Louis area, healthcare. According to the Department of Labor, the region will add nearly 62,000 jobs by 2032, with jobs in the healthcare industry leading the way. Other fast-growing occupations include computer and mathematical positions, transportation and material moving, community and social service, and construction. Positions showing negative growth include architecture, engineering, office and administrative support, and production. It's now 8:08. We'll check traffic and weather in 2 minutes.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If it's cold outside, the team at Morelli Tuck Pointing is still busy. During colder months, Morelli can inspect any exposed brick inside your house. If your basement has a stone or black wall, Morelli can remove the worn-out mortar from that wall and replace it with new mortar. This tuck pointing work will reinforce your foundation, prevent water from entering your home, and thwart pests. This is a great time to get the inside of your garage inspected, and the same goes for your brick or stone fireplace. I've used Morelli Tuck Pointing to repair the chimneys, walkways, and walls of 2 homes here in St. Louis. The Morelli bids are fair, their crews are super polite, and they clean their job sites. Don't take my word for it. Check out the reviews on Google. Winner of the BBB Torch Award and the Next Door Neighbor Fave Award, 35 years in business, an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds too. Get a quote right now at 800-200-1966, 800-200-1966, or biglou.com.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Now the news at 1 the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
8:10 at Total Information AM. Let's see how things are moving on the roads. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, I've had a few problems this morning, Megan. Nothing catastrophic, thankfully. There's still a little bit of a backup. They did clear just since we last spoke. They cleared that crash westbound 70 at Cypress. Still a little bit of a backup past the airport, but it'll thin out pretty quickly, I think. Northbound 270 from Manchester up to Ladue, still a couple of slow spots. South 270 south of Olive down to Ladue, that's a little busy. Looks good out west. Eastbound 70, 64 coming out of St. Charles County. 64 looks good both ways at the Interbelt. Northbound 55 clear Festus into downtown. Downtown we've cleared out. Westbound 64 at Fairview Heights and up headed for the Poplar. No delays. We still have this jam. Northbound 141 from 21 or Tesson Ferry up to Fiedler. The signals are on red flash there. They have been all morning. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Rain and even a thunderstorm around to start the day, then breezy and dramatically colder as clouds break for some sun. Our high will be 55. Tonight will turn out clear and cold, low 32. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high 57. For Sunday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, breezy and warmer in the afternoon, high 72. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We have 39 degrees in Florissant. It's 40 in St. Peters, 39 downtown at the Arch. You're listening to Total Information AM here on 104.1 FM KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. Next Wednesday, NASA hopes to launch its Artemis 2 mission. The Orion spacecraft expected to spend 10 days flying around the moon and back. It's the first crewed flight to the moon since Apollo. My next guest has been a science team member of 3 NASA missions mapping the moon and Mercury. He's also been working to develop a device that can measure the chemistry of rocks, minerals, soil, and ices on the moon's surface. And welcome, Dr. Jeffrey Gillis, research professor of physics at Washington University. Thanks for coming in studio.
Good morning, Megan. It's great to be here. Thanks.
What does this mission mean to you?
Well, it's going to build some great momentum in the Artemis program. Artemis 1 was uncrewed, it was automated. With this mission, we're going to have our first 4 astronauts going around the moon, as you said, and a 10-day trip, and it will prove the systems are, working as they should. It'll be the first time astronauts are able to actually manually control, and they'll attempt like a docking procedure with the upper stage to make sure that works well. They'll try on spacesuits for the first time out in space. They don't do a travel, but they'll also see a side of the moon that we haven't seen with human eyes, depending on what launch date we have. So it's really exciting to have them out there, and it'll be great when they come home safe.
Why go back to the moon at all?
Well, in the Artemis program, it's a stepping stone to go on to further projects out into the solar system. But in the moon has value in and of itself. It can teach us about the moon. One of the biggest science debates for Earth is, where do we get our water? Did it form with Earth? Did it come with comets and asteroids after it formed? And the moon might be a keystone into understanding where we got our water, because if the water that we know that's at the poles formed with the moon, then that means Earth had water very early on. And then that also helps us actually build an architecture where we have lunar bases with a water reserve right next door.
I think the last time that I spoke with you, you were actually working on instrumentation that would help someday, measure some of the chemistry of rocks and soils and water. Tell us a little bit about that project.
Right. So that project is called LIBS. It's laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy. So it's kind of, lightning in a can, where, you have a plasma, which is lightning, and that a plasma actually vaporizes a small amount of material. And as the material cools, electrons recombine and they emit photons to do that. And those photons are very diagnostic of the elements. So we can understand not only the rock composition, to understand the geology, but we can also do this technique with some of the ices at the poles of the moon. And in understanding what the composition of the ice is, we'll know whether the water came from the moon or came later from asteroids and meteorites, or was formed by interactions with the solar wind, which is predominantly hydrogen, and the rocks that are on the moon. So that'll be, again, teaching us a bit about how Earth and the moon formed in their system.
Could some of those things help sustain a more long-term human presence on the moon?
It does. One of the big differences with Artemis compared to Apollo is NASA wants to go back to the moon sustainably. We're still defining what sustainably actually means, but one of the things is having the resources on the moon to be able to stay there for long term. And water would be a huge benefit, because about a kilogram costs $100,000 to launch into space. So if we can have the water right on the surface of the moon and we just have to, distill it, it's a great enabler, because we can use it as water for astronauts to drink. We can break it into hydrogen and oxygen, which is rocket propellant. And from there, use the moon as a base to go to the asteroid belt, to Mars, in the outer solar system. So it really can open up a lot of exploration of the solar system.
I'm speaking with Dr. Jeffrey Gillis, research professor of physics at WashU. I'm curious, what are some of the challenges of creating lunar science instrumentation, something that you're designing here on Earth, but it has to function in outer space?
That's a great question. We've had to deal with that in the development of this LIBS system. LIBS is pretty common now on Earth in the lab, but the extremes of the surface of the moon is pretty harsh. LIBS has also been to Mars, where there is some atmosphere. It's 0.6 millibars, or about 100 times weaker than Earth. But on the moon, we're in a total vacuum. So there are new challenges there. You have to try and dissipate heat. The plasma also expands really fast, so there are different physics dynamics with that. So there's a lot of challenges to, get through this extreme environment. Plus, you're also dealing with radiation from space, which can interact with the electrical components and cause problems.
Now, when we talk about Artemis 2, this mission is actually some years behind schedule. How concerned are you if this is not successful?
Um, NASA has always had to, work on the cutting edge of things. And I think there'll be, a successful mission because they will launch when they are ready. They're not going to push it just to make a schedule. So we will see a successful mission eventually, hopefully, April 1st through 6th, which is the next launch window. If it's not safe, they won't launch. But as we've seen in the news, the propellant that they're using, hydrogen, it's a leaky, fast, light gas, and it's really hard to contain. So hopefully with the fix, when they went back to the vehicle assembly building, we'll be right this time, and we'll move forward.
So obviously, as lay people, we will be watching it in a different way than you will be once this does launch. What are some of the things that you'll be watching for that maybe we can key in on?
One thing in particular is that they reach each of their milestones. It's 10-day trip. They spend the first day in Earth and checking out the systems, making sure, okay, we're ready to go to the next bar. So if we are ready after the first day and we're going out to the moon, I think that's a really big success, and it signals, all things are working. NASA is confident we have this mission, pretty much home at that point.
How nerve-wracking is it going to be? I understand there are 40 minutes when this craft Orion will be on the other side of the moon, and there will be no communication with Earth.
Right. Well, that's anticipated. Apollo had to do that. From the timing exactly when things shut off as far as communications and when they start back and where the mission will be. So I think for the crew, it's kind of like we have 40 minutes to kind of not have to talk with mission control. We can relax a little bit, wait for the next burn to send us home. And, I think it's nice with a little break for them to kind of have no one chattering in their ear, and they can just focus on the task at hand.
Well, Dr. Gillis, we're looking forward to it. I'm sure you are too. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you. It was great talking with you, Megan.
It's now 8:20. Let's see how more common traffic is going out there right now. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, it's not bad, Megan. It continues to improve. There's not much on the highways to be concerned about now. There's a little bit of a slowdown. Southbound 270 running through Ladue, but north 270 is cleared out. Eastbound 70 and 64 coming in from out west. 70 around the airport. Everything's back to normal there. Thinned out on the Illinois side. Not seeing any delays in Fairview Heights or through the downtown bridges, so no interstate worries at all. The only place we have a bit of a backup, and it's a little bit better, it's just jammed approaching Romaine Creek up to Fiedler right now on northbound 141, and that's due to those ongoing signal problems there. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They're in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Every business starts with an idea. With Smart Business Buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at amazonbusiness.com.
In case you missed it, Total Information AM is recapping some of the biggest local and state stories that crossed our news desks this week, starting with one of the most significant issues dominating rural towns in our region right now, data center development. That's the sound of angry residents at a Festus City Council meeting. The majority of residents who spoke opposed to a $6 billion development proposal from CRG. The plan comes with a promise of millions of dollars for Festus, including $5 million for a fire station. KMOX asked Mayor Sam Richards if he's been told which company might ultimately use the site.
They have not told us as yet who it is, an end user. We do not know who the end user might be.
The Festus City Council could vote on the proposal next week. It was another week where St. Louis County Executive Sam Page made news. The St. Louis County Council Ethics Committee yet again investigating whether Dr. Page violated the law by practicing medicine while in office. Councilman Mark Harder.
We would file a complaint in the court and turn over our evidence, and it would be up to the court to bring charges and to remove him from office.
Meanwhile, Dr. Page cutting some hours at county offices and canceling the JB Blast 4th of July celebration, citing budget woes. Page says there are many ways the council could restore county government back to normal function.
There's lots of places to go to fund the Department of Revenue so county residents can have normal services that they deserve. You could go to the Rams money. You could go to the Special Project Legacy Fund that I don't even know what's for anymore.
St. Louis County Councilman Dennis Hancock, who's also running for county executive, tells KMOX the county executive should be looking for ways to make the JB Blast and other county functions happen.
Why so many cuts to the revenue department?
There weren't any cuts to the revenue department. That's just it. They had some temps in last year at the beginning of RECA and for the senior tax freeze. Well, those temps were let go at the end of the year. So all of the full-time positions were funded.
Finally, let's turn to your health. Does your kid's head itch a lot? Experts say you need to be on the lookout for super lice. Dr. Charlotte Albinson is with BJC Medical Group.
What happens is when people are treated inappropriately, then the lice, they can form genetic mutations that make them resistant to those over-the-counter formulations.
State health officials say Missouri's first 2 adult cases of Clade 1 Mpox are both linked to international travel. Nathan Kafarnas of the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services tells Missouri Net it's rare outside of Africa.
There's a pretty good outbreak going on in Central and Western Africa, and it's also, there have been over 200 imported cases to countries outside of Africa.
There have been 14 cases in the United States, including the 2 from Missouri. The illness known for lesions and painful blisters. It primarily spreads from person to person through close contact. Recovery time 2 to 4 weeks. As the nationwide outbreak of avian influenza continues to spread, some are wondering if poultry in Missouri has been affected.
In Missouri, it looks like there's not any positive detections right now, but we are worried about the spring migration of our waterfowl and the risk that might pose to both commercial and backyard poultry in the state of Missouri.
Dr. Chelsea Shirley says the virus can impact humans and pets, but the risk to humans is fairly low. It's now 8:26. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelley Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
It is such a great time of the year, tournament time, and it is happening now. And right now, FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 straight days if your bet loses. And here's how it works. You place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you're going to get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's right. You can even mix things up with a same game parlay. If you want to get adventurous, you can look at a shot of a bigger payout with those same game parlays. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to sign up if you have not done it already. Now's a great time. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here. Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring. Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday for the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Hear me out on this. Let's say, for the sake of argument, you do have a wife or a significant other.
Yeah.
There's just a huge problem in your life. And then you win a giant jackpot. Don't you feel like this is your opportunity to just leave town?
You're not going to file papers now because now you're going to be legally bound to this lady.
That's what you get the lawyer for.
You're not even married and you're fantasizing about leaving your wife.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
8:30. Let's see if it's getting any easier on the roads. Roger Brand is in the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Yeah, it's not bad out there right now, Megan. We don't have much in the way of delays on the highways. There's a little bit of a slowdown on southbound 270 at Ladue, a little slowdown eastbound 64 as you get to the ramp at 170 and the Richmond Heights area. Otherwise, interstate-wise, we're pretty much back on track. I don't see any other issues or delays. We still have a little bit of a backup, not as bad. It's still heavy. Northbound 141, Romaine Creek up to Fiedler. That's where those signals are on a red flash. But like I said, the rest of the highways are good to go right now. Next update at 8:40 from the overhead door company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, it looks like we will see some sunshine later on today. We're only going to have a high around 55 degrees, clear and colder tonight with an overnight low of 32. And then tomorrow, we get plenty of sunshine with a high of 57. By Sunday, it'll be warmer, a high 72. Cloudy skies now 39 degrees downtown at the Arch. It's 8:31. Here's Debbie Monterrey.
Route 66 turns 100 years old this year. Of course, it came right through St. Louis, Missouri. Some of the best ways to explore the rest. Well, joining us is an expert on the Great American Road Trip. It's Megan Kaiser, travel expert, author, Everywhere for Nothing, Free Travel for the Modern Nomad. Megan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Debbie. It's so great to be here.
It seems like interest in Route 66 has been growing maybe even over the last decade, but obviously with it being the 100th anniversary, a lot of states, including the Metro East here in Illinois, have been investing money to make sure that they have plenty of visibility for Route 66 travelers. What are you saying as far as interest?
Oh, road trips are having a real moment right now. I mean, lined with those vintage diners, the neon motels, quirky roadside attractions. Route 66, it's this legendary American road trip, nearly 2,500 miles, crosses 8 beautiful states. And like you said, communities along the route are gearing up for centennial celebrations. So it's the perfect time to check out my favorite travel site and app, Booking.com. It's the official travel partner of the Route 66 Centennial and is spotlighting the Mother Road ahead of its 100th birthday, helping travelers plan their own unforgettable adventure. I mean, some of us are just wanting to go back to our travel routes, and what better way than with Route 66?
For those of us who know of Route 66 but are not experts or scholars on it, how long is it? Like if we were to start at the beginning to the end, how long is it and how many states?
So it's nearly 2,500 miles. I think the actual number is 22,448, something like that. Starts in Illinois, ends in California, so you can get that sunset at the end.
Can you give us some examples of what some other states have done, or maybe some of the most popular places to stop along the way?
Yeah, well, travelers today are really seeking more value, like we just talked about, flexibility, freedom to explore at their own pace. And Booking.com, its 2026 travel predictions show that nearly 80% of travelers want more spontaneous, flexible road trips. And over 3/4 say they're drawn to road trips because they get to meet new people along the way. And the Route 66 Centennial is adding even more excitement, from car shows to foodie fests for fun stops along the way, like Albuquerque's Roads and Rails Festival in April or September's Mother Road Festival in Springfield, Illinois. There's something for everybody, and it's so great to just get online and see what's going on, because across the country, people are just so excited about this.
It is the 100th anniversary of Route 66, the Great American Road Trip. Megan Kaiser is our guest. She's a travel expert everywhere for nothing, free travel for the modern nomad. Thanks so much for the information. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Your money report is next. It's 8:34.
No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid for Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry. Offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, save more on what goes into the job. Add power to your lineup with a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Get the job done right. Keep more in your pocket. That's Pro Savings Days. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
Your money report now. It's sponsored by Eamon Gatner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys.
This is Bloomberg Money Minute. The U.S. and Iran remain far apart after nearly a month of attacks that have damaged energy infrastructure all across the Middle East. Futures are lower once again this morning after yesterday's sell-off for stocks. The Dow tumbled 469 points to finish the session. Meantime, the war is rattling the housing market as the key spring selling season gets underway. Mortgage rates have jumped for a fourth straight week, reaching the highest point in 6 months. According to Freddie Mac, the average rate for a 30-year fixed loan has climbed to 6.38%. The spike in rates adds another reason for buyers to hesitate. And fast-growing bakery chain Nothing Bundt Cakes has been sold to another private equity firm. According to the Wall Street Journal, buyout giant KKR is purchasing the company for over $2 billion. Roark Capital acquired Nothing Bundt Cakes back in 2021. Roark owns a number of restaurants, including Dunkin', Subway, and Dave's Hot Chicken. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
If you live in Missouri, have Medicaid, and need a caregiver, this message is important. Care at home is personal. That's why you may not want a stranger in your home to take care of you. You want someone who already knows you and your daily routines. With Freedom Care, you choose a trusted family member, a friend, or a neighbor. They will get paid after every shift to care for you, and it's 100% free to you. More than 70,000 people have already joined the Freedom Care family. Call your local Freedom Care. They'll check your Medicaid eligibility. Don't wait until a stranger shows up at your door. If you have Medicaid and need help at home, this care is available 100% free to you. Call Freedom Care now to see if you qualify. 314-907-0892. 314-907-0892. That's 314-907-0892.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
You like the word thorough? It's a good word, thorough. It means complete, accurate, detailed. Well, when you go to Ophthalmology Associates, you will get a thorough eye examination. The technology's incredible. It's all up to date, the very latest. And Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer and their staff will make your visit very personal. That's because they believe every patient is unique. Ophthalmology Associates takes all the research and technology and their personal knowledge and expertise and tailor it into an eye care plan that is as unique as you are. Services include everything from expert treatment of cataracts and retinas to comprehensive eye exams for you and the kids, and a full-service optical shop with a ton of frames to choose from. Ophthalmology Associates, 3 St. Louis area locations. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
As parents, we measure our child's life in firsts. First steps, first words. But for me, the most important was my son's first breath. Because of Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, that moment led to so many more. His first laugh, first birthday, the first time he said, "I love you, Mama." Make your pledge for patients today at homersforhealth.org to benefit the devoted fund. Your gift helps build a place where more childhood firsts are possible.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
This is 104.1 FM, KMOX. Here's what's happening. A federal judge has ruled in favor of artificial intelligence company Anthropic and temporarily blocking the Pentagon from labeling the company as supply chain risk. A growing number of U.S. college instructors swapping written assignments and instead going back to oral exams to help combat the use of AI in higher education. And farmers around the world facing fertilizer shortages and rising costs after the war in Iran disrupted shipments through the Strait of Hormuz, which handles a third of global fertilizer trade. 8:40, time for another check of the roads with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's not much going on the highways, Megan. It's a pretty quiet morning right now. We just have a little slowdown on the ramp south 270, Highway 70, getting on to east or westbound 70. A little busy there. We had an earlier minor crash. I think a tow truck's on the scene now dealing with it. Eastbound 64, a little slow right at the 70 interchange on the Illinois side. A minor incident reported there. And still a little bit of a backup. Romaine Creek up to Fiedler is bumper to bumper northbound 141 right now. That's due to signal problems. Page at Hanley, they are working to wrap up an injury crash as well. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Time for the Friday edition of Hancock and Kelley.
You two belong together.
John Hancock, Michael Kelley on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Good morning, big boy.
What's cooking?
How about that yesterday?
That was something else.
Is there a better day
Opening day
every year than opening day?
It's the best. And who had an 8-run inning on the bingo card for the Cardinals yesterday?
I think the same person who had a 95-degree day in March. I mean, come on.
I'll tell you what, I'm here. I've been saying it for weeks now. This team is going to surprise people this year.
But John, did you watch it? First of all, this was the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. I don't think they're going to light it up.
They're the
year,
Rays now. A.
Yeah.
B. Good, young, talented team.
And they hung 6 on us in the what?
Yeah, but those were a lot. I mean, their 6 was lucky. Our 8 was a hard hit balls, home run. It was wonderful.
I was at the game yesterday watching it. Of course, my favorite part was when the horses come in. I mean, there is nothing better than seeing those Clydesdales come in. I was sitting next to some of the Tampa Bay's players' wives.
Yeah.
And they had their kids, and everybody there was just energized to see the horses, even the visiting team.
Well, you got to love it. I mean, you get a bunch of horses out there and, something you don't see every day.
And were you able to find the game on television?
Buddy, I figured out all by myself, a little help from my son.
Okay.
But basically all by myself. I figured out how to get on Cardinals TV, buy a subscription, put the app on the television, and boom, there it was.
I'm told that I have DirecTV, and I am told that I can watch it there. But yesterday, I was going to tape the pregame ceremony, and I went looking for it and couldn't find it on my television. I know it's there. I know a lot of people are having a hard time figuring out where they're going to see the games.
Well, if you go to cardinals.com/watch, they'll tell you the channel for all of the systems.
Well, yeah. And, of course, you can always go to KMOX here, 1120 a.m., or our FM station, which is 104.1.
Yes.
And you can hear the Cardinals. We also stream it on the Odyssey app.
We do.
Who was you most excited to see in one of those red jackets or coming in one of those cars yesterday?
Oh, Ozzy's the dean now.
Hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
Remember when he was the young kid that was in that group?
Yeah, he's 70 years old, and he's the dean of the alumni. And one of the video presentations they did yesterday showed all of the Cardinal greats that we've lost in the last handful of years.
Right.
Wow. Staggering.
Yeah.
Staggering.
It was a different feeling than previous opening days. And I'm sure it was this way last year, and it's going to take a while to soak in. But when Ozzy comes in, there's no more Bob Gibson. There is no more Lou Brock. There's no more Red Suter, no Red, no Whitey. But there was Ted Simmons there. And I have to tell you, if there's a better head of hair in baseball than Ted Simmons, I'd love to see it. That guy's got a good looking
He's got a mane, that's for sure. And always did, and he always did until Vern Rapp became the manager.
Yeah.
Vern Rapp made him cut his hair, made Al Roboski shave his mustache, his Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
And he lasted, I think, for 1.5 years.
What was Simmons' nickname?
Simba.
Yeah. After the lion, because he's always had that blonde mane.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't blonde back then.
What was it then?
It was brown.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he looked fabulous yesterday with his gray hair. I wish I had it. I saw him in Forest Park not too long ago.
Yeah.
Still living here in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
Walking around.
Great.
As approachable as anybody you'll ever meet.
Really good guy. I ran into he and his wife at the airport flying back from Jupiter.
Oh, nice.
And, they're big time art collectors and enthusiasts, and they've done so much for the art museum in St. Louis.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like major benefactors.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and fascinating people, really, both he and his wife.
Would it be inappropriate for me if I saw him walking again in Forest Park for me to stop him and say, "Hey, Mr. Simmons," or do you think is that uncouth to bother a celebrity like that when they're out doing their exercise?
Well, I mean, if he's walking, you just walk alongside and talk to him. Yeah.
I just waved at him and said, "Hey, thanks for everything you do for St. Louis." And he kind of looked at me and he was like, "Hey, no, thank you."
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you don't know me from Adam, but it was good to see him yesterday. And it's great that the baseball season started. You're still optimistic that this is going to be better than what most of us anticipate?
Yes. I think the over-under on if you follow the betting things, is 69.5 games, something like that. We're going to be better.
Well, there you go. You heard it right here from my friend John Hancock. When will this war end, John, that the president says sometimes there's a war, sometimes he's declared victory, sometimes it's going to still go on. Now we're sending in the airborne. We're definitely looking like we're about to have troops on the ground. I got to tell you, this administration doesn't seem to have a direction and surely doesn't have its talking points together.
Yeah. Very foreboding, the sending of the thousands of troops, the 82nd Airborne, you mentioned, some special forces going in. The thinking is they're going to try and take that island. And I don't see how, if we put those kind of forces on the ground, I'm afraid we're going to have mass U.S. casualties. Oh. And if you put those forces on the ground, there's no getting out of this thing anytime soon. And if there's no getting out of this thing anytime soon, you're going to have a global recession.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
John, I don't get what's happening, because I've run into a couple of people here in the building that are on the other station, and I've kind of teased them a little bit about, boy, hey, no more endless wars. Prices are coming down. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, just hold on. Nobody wants to seem to realize that what they were promised, they're not getting. And they don't seem to be waking up. Even Speaker Johnson yesterday saying that this isn't a canary in the coal mine, all these Democrats winning across the country, that MAGA is still going to hold on to government. What are these people doing, putting their head in the sand? They're about to get steamrolled.
Well, there's an awakening coming in November. And, you don't need to be a studied student of history to know that this election's going to go really, really poorly for the Republicans.
But what does that mean for Donald Trump? Does he continue with his, look, on this TSA fight, he refuses to buckle. The Senate leader Thune wanted to have a compromise. Yeah. Apparently they got to one last night. It's going to be dealt with in the House. But Donald Trump, yet again, like he did on closing the border down when Joe Biden was president, came in, big-footed the process at the detriment of the political opportunities for the Republicans.
I've never been impressed with the political calculation of the Trump team. This whole assault on mail-in voting, for example, that had been a strength for Republicans. Back when I ran the Republican Party, we had a robust and active absentee ballot program, and they do it all over the country. And, it's actually hurting the GOP to do away with mail-in voting.
Yeah. He's John Hancock. I'm Michael Kelley. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to talk about the region and how we ought to be governing ourselves right here on KMOX.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Since 1898, we've been building homes in St. Louis with the same commitment to quality craftsmanship, prime locations, and personalized service. And now we're celebrating 128 years with our 1898 sale. For a limited time, save $18,980 plus receive $10,000 to $15,000 in cash at closing on all to-be-built homes. Visit McKelveyHomes.com to learn more. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey Homes?
Here in St. Louis, we take pride in supporting our health and our community. That's why more and more families are turning to Neovitin multivitamins, created by a local physician and made right here in the U.S. using the highest quality domestic and international ingredients. With formulas for men, women, and adults 50 plus, Neovitin helps keep St. Louis families energized, supported, and ready for life. Find Neovitin at your local Deerbergs, Schnucks, and online at neovitin.com. Neovitin. Trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
And welcome back to the Hancock and Kelley Show. John, listening to the news on the way in here on KMOX, Nis Sandoval, yes, again, talking and sounding the alarm about what's happening in St. Louis. We're about to lose our status as the 23rd or 24th biggest city to San Antonio now. Yep. Our growth is stagnant. We're getting older. We're not getting any younger. Young people aren't replacing us. And one has to point to the way that we govern ourselves as being a part of that problem.
I think that's right. And, as much as I've criticized Sam Page, he at least has gotten the conversation started about what we need to do as a region. And his suggestion is that you bring St. Louis City into St. Louis County as another municipality.
Okay.
And, that could happen. But I think a much stronger approach would be to just have St. Louis City and County combined together and become St. Louis. And a unified government. You'd have one leader over the St. Louis City and County region. A lot of Republicans have said that, if you do that, you'll never have a Republican. Well, I got news for you, folks. If you're in St. Louis County, you haven't elected a Republican county executive for 40 years.
Right.
So, I mean, that's not going to happen. And having a unified government means that the cost of government goes way down. We'll have to figure out a way to manage the municipalities, the 90-some municipalities that exist presently in St. Louis County. But, in the city, you've got all of these very recognizable, very defined neighborhoods.
Sure.
You know them all.
Yeah. Dogtown, The Hill, Tower Grove.
Yeah.
You can go on forever.
And
Evo.
And that's a place where people identify with. Well, we can do that with Kirkwood and Webster and, Town and Country and Chesterfield.
Yeah, and what's hard for me to understand, if you watching what's going on in the city government, this is a structure that was set up for 1 million people.
Yeah,
we're at about 200,000 plus that are left here in the city. It's not necessary to have 15 aldermen and all this staff and etc. In the same way that it's not necessary to have 57 police departments out in St. Louis County and 90-something municipalities. 15 different fire districts. I mean, it just seems so redundant.
Yeah, there's a lot of mayors out there.
Yeah.
A lot of mayors out there in St. Louis County.
Looks like we're throwing a lot of tax dollars just up in the air to really just keep people working rather than to being efficient and doing the best thing that's right for moving the region
and
forward.
It's not as if we don't have living, breathing examples of how this works. Indianapolis unified, Nashville unified, all over the country. Louisville unified, all over the country. They've been doing these things. And, we've got to begin to have a conversation, St. Louis, because it's clear things are not going well here.
Well, and I think that's part of the issue here, John, is acceptance. I mean, when you mention those cities, Louisville, Indianapolis, I know there's St. Louisans out there just like me who in more of a snobbish way look at it and think, we're so much better and bigger than them. Little Rock, Kansas City.
Yeah.
These are people that we used to look down at.
Yep.
These are cities that are accelerating now, that are growing, that have addressed a lot of the problems that St. Louis has chosen not to do.
Yeah.
And the reality is that even our convention center, when you look at who they're competing against, we're not competing against Las Vegas or Atlanta or New York. We're competing against Little Rock, Tulsa, Des Moines, Kansas City. And so we've got to kind of accept where we're at and find a way to move us forward because we can still get back into the AAA or the big leagues.
Oh,
but we've got to make some changes.
Yeah. And there's so much good about St. Louis, our geographic location, our cultural infrastructure is an A+ city culturally. The educational opportunities that exist here, the excellent educational facilities here. But, and just fixing the government's not going to solve the entire problem,
No.
but it is a absolutely essential step in that process. And I think if we had solved the government problem and once again become a hub airport,
right,
I think you could see St. Louis flourish. I think bright days could be in the future, but I think those two things are absolutely preconditions to growth and success.
Yeah, and one of the things that has to happen is we have to continue to grow business in St. Louis. There are businesses that stretch across 3 or 4 municipalities. I'm thinking of Boeing, Schnucks,
right.
Anheuser-Busch. These folks have spices. So to build a building in Creve Coeur, you have a different permitting process than you do if you're building a building in Florissant or inside the city of St. Louis. And that just doesn't seem right. It seems common sense that we as a region ought to be coming up with unified ways to deal with stuff. That's just a small example of what businesses face, that when you're in Indianapolis, why it's so much easier to expand or to attract business, because they don't have this redundancy in government that literally can be 100 yards from where they're trying to expand.
Well, and we live in a situation now, not so much now, but a decade, 2 ago, individual municipalities were offering tax incentives to move a Walmart from Des Peres to Ellisville.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
Totally.
That we're doing that.
John, I bring this up all the time because I love to bash Jefferson City. We just got a couple seconds left, but this problem needs not only the region to deal with it, the state's got to help.
I think that's probably right. Yeah. And, the state can't do it, but the state could certainly help facilitate it.
Well, unfortunately, there's leadership that exists inside the state. We don't seem to be able to agree on what day it is here in the region.
Chris and Amy are next. Without Chris, Amy's next right here on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Health Trends, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Nanoplastics and microplastics pose emerging threats to human health. Cleveland Clinic experts offer some tips to limit exposure. Avoid heating food in plastic containers, especially in microwaves. Use natural fiber clothing. Vacuum and dust regularly to reduce inhaling plastic particles found in household dust. And ditch your plastic bottled water for a glass or stainless steel reusable bottle. I'm Margie Schaefer.
Wesley Financial Group